Hello!
Hello!
Welcome
Yes!
to today's stream.
Where we're equally prepared as usual.
Well, we at least are almost on time today and not a couple minutes late like yesterday.
It was just like 1 minute late yesterday.
Okay, I'm sorry.
How's everyone doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah?
I do not feel prepared. I sat up late last night and played with World Anvil and found some features that I've been looking for, and yeah, I've had fun.
I went to bed yesterday. So.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. This blue is so pretty. I can't get over it. I'm sorry. Who do we have here today? Do we have anyone here today?
I believe we have some people here, but yeah, Ayane is here. Hello.
Welcome.
Yes.
And Moon, hello.
Hello.
Do you want to tell Moon what you told me yesterday? When we were having dinner after the stream, Marcus was like, I still can't get over how young Moon is. And then we did the math, and then we realized how close in age you are to us. And we were like, but she's an adult.
Yeah.
And hi, we're apparently children.
We're not calling you old, just for the record.
No.
I think there was more a matter of like, here's a person who like basically has kids and everything.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, that's an adult. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I'm an adult. We are very close in age. That is not you are old. That is I am old. I don't know what that is. But anyway, yeah. Yes.
Hello, all the violets.
Hello.
What did you say?
It was just a realization that I found somewhat interesting.
Oh.
Yes.
Waiting dance.
Sorry, I'm.
Hello, Avi. No, I'm just gonna keep it going. It's fine. I'm saying hello to people. I'm talking about how young we find them. You know, the usual. How is everyone today? I hope everyone is fine.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, I was 21 when my 18-year-old was born, and I mean that makes sense. That's.
We can do that math. It works.
I think it's just that like my age versus other people's age don't match up because I don't remember that I'm an adult.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah.
And have been for a fair bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole thing. I think about that sometimes within my family because my parents had kids relatively young, and then they are both oldest in their among their siblings.
Yeah.
My mom's youngest sister had kids relatively old, so there's a big span between us, and it like age is weird.
Age is weird, yeah. But I've also been calling myself a year older than I am this entire year, and I still have like 8 months to go to my birthday, so I'm just preparing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, how are people doing?
I keep asking that and no one answers, so I think we're just not going to talk about it.
I guess we're not talking about how we're doing.
It's fine. It's understandable. Times like these.
So, today we are world building. And we have a few things that we have been talking about that we would like to world build. And I think the first thing we're going to focus on, also we are not prepared. We haven't really talked through what
we're had lunch.
Doing. Yeah, I have some sandwiches that I'm going to eat. So yes, my thinking is that I'm maybe not going to do a very long recap of where we are. I am going to say that we are world building a secondary world, fantasy world, and
that's all you need to know.
That's for now. Actually, that is probably all you need to know. And then we'll just take whatever we need to know for this particular world building. We'll fill you in later.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way of getting started.
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at my little neck. I thought my neck looks really, really weird. It's fine.
Cool.
Yeah. No, that sounds good. You also wrote down a couple questions and stuff from yesterday's stream, I think.
Yeah.
That we needed to figure out today, or that we should talk about today.
Yeah, and we have a list left from last week's world building as well.
Cool.
So we have a fair bit to do. But I want to start with something because, Moon, I saw your emails, and I obviously do need to share this. I was going to prepare you, and I was going to ask you to bring out your fox snake drawing. Do you have that available?
Sure. Keep talking among yourself and talk to these lovely people.
Yes.
And I will see if I can find it.
Yes, because Moon emailed me last night and wrote that because she mentioned in the chat yesterday that her teenager would. Are you okay?
I'm looking for the thing. Yeah.
Okay. Then her teenager would love the idea of a fox snake pet, and then she sent me some drawings that they made, and they are amazing, and I do need to share them. I did get permission to share them, and I go, yeah. So I'm gonna do that, but I also wanted to share Matilda's version if she has it. But
I'm sure I do. I just don't know where. I don't keep track of my things. I never draw. I know exactly which notebook it is. It would just be nice to know where that notebook was.
Yeah.
It's the black one with the rubber string. Maybe my nightstand?
I don't know if you can hear. I don't know how much the microphone picks up, but she's looking for the notebook where she made her drawings. Her drawing. But yes, let's see. I did not prepare this, but I could have. Where are we at? There.
Where the heck is it?
I don't know.
Why would it be in here?
I don't know.
Probably not in there.
No.
No.
That's okay. I am showing the. Come here and look at these because this is amazing, and I'm also gonna put up a banner because apparently they have a Tumblr.
That is so cool. This is Debbie the Start vlog.
Yeah, I like the name.
Love it.
Yeah, and apparently they do commissions. I looked in a little bit.
That's so cool.
To see what this was, and it was really cool. And I just love these. These fox snakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna actually make it a bit bigger so that you can see that. I especially love the one that gets the boop.
Yes.
And the little bleb with the snake tongue. And yeah, they are adorable.
Yep.
And yeah. They made me so happy. So I want to you okay?
Yes.
Still
Sorry.
looking for the thing?
Yes. You
Okay.
want to not customize. You want to order. You want to commission. That's the word.
Maybe. But above all, I just want to share that I think that your kid is really, really talented,
Yeah.
Moon, and I hope that you will tell them that this is so amazing and it made me
Yeah.
so happy to see.
I really like the top. For me, top left one. The
The one that looks
Yeah.
really like regal and has three
Yeah.
tails. Yeah.
I thought we said three tongues. We said three tails, right?
Three tails, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one is like so cool.
Yeah. I also really like can't really see it. I'm gonna bring up the
I'm paying for the commissions of these sketches in nachos. That's- yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I found mine because, I remembered where I keep all my notebooks, and it's in the box that this laptop stands on.
Well, okay then.
Okay, for the record, I'm not an artist. Like, don't look at Moon, like the Moon's child's drawing and expect the same, because no. I also made this with watercolor pencils, which I've never used, and you can't tell with anything else. But want to show this.
You don't have to.
And it's curled up on its tail. It's 2 layers of tail. There's a divide like right there.
Yeah.
And then over on the other side across from here is the actual tail
End of the
bit
tail.
of the tail.
Yeah.
And the eyes are terrifying and everything's bad. And also, Marcus and I have a thing where we tend to smash words together and like turn them backwards and stuff. This is clearly a fake snots.
Yep.
Yep, that's it. Yep, cool.
Yeah.
I will never draw again.
But that one is adorable too.
Conceptually, it's cute. Executionally, not.
It's really cute anyway. AV says that like the long middle one personally. Yeah, that one is really cool too. It has 6 limbs.
Yeah.
And like I love the big stretch and the yawn with it. Yeah, so cute. But I think my favorite, I'm gonna bring up the individual picture. I think my favorite is this one.
I didn't even see that one.
No, it's so cute. And yeah.
It's a fox head or a snake head and then the entire tail.
Yeah.
It's just a tail.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
It's adorable. So
Yes.
yeah, thank you, Moon, and thank you to Moon's kid.
Yes.
I don't know the name of, but yeah, that made me so happy. And check out the Tumblr and commission pieces if you want to do that.
Yes.
Because we want to support this this stuff.
This stuff, good stuff.
I want to support artists.
Yes.
Yes. Avi says that yours was also cute, although those eyes.
I know, the eyes are terrifying. They leaked and then I tried to fix it and then I just added more and more ice and then, or like, not more and more ice, but more and more, yeah, it was bad. Sorry, the link doesn't seem to work though.
It doesn't?
The Stabbiest art blog.
I copied it from...
Or I just don't know how to use Tumblr anymore. That could also be it.
So when I searched for it yesterday, it worked.
Huh. Oh, there it is. It just didn't show up. Oh, that's because okay. I get it now.
Okay, cool.
I made a mistake.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, send our applause.
Appreciation and thanks
Yes.
to
Noel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty name.
Yeah.
Very pretty name. Cool. So,
Yes.
Moon also asked a while back if you had a list of questions or...
Yes. I'm going to share the... let's see. Go to remove. Stop sharing that screen. Start sharing. I think it's a little bit annoying that you can't share, because I want to share like that one. I share the entire screen, but I don't generally want to do that. Now I just want to share this, and I want to be able to share more than one screen at a time. That would have been nice. Making this a bit bigger.
Wait.
Okay, so the world building questions for today are the ones that are left from last week. Is how does shapeshifting work? Which elementals live where? What?
That was yawn.
Oh,
It was
okay.
yawn.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Something about a calendar, since it's 6 months. They have 6 months. How do they actually tell time? How do they know?
They just wake up one day. Oh, I didn't wake up today. It's been 6 months.
They
wake up and don't wake up. Yep.
Okay, cool.
That's why they have companions with them.
And also food, which is maybe not super important, but we put it on there. So, and I mean, it's important that they eat, but maybe we don't need to know about the food yet.
Yes. No.
And then from yesterday, we have the healing. Basically, what is the cost of the magics that they have / use? And that is, I mean, really the cost of magic. There always has to be a cost of magic. If nothing else, just energy or doing. What is it? Everything has an equal and opposite reaction. Every action has an equal opposite reaction. And that needs to be true in magic as well, at least to a certain point. But yeah. So that's both the healing, we talked a bit about my characters being able to see in the dark and what the downsides and costs of that was.
Mhm.
And eventually we're going to also need to know both what the elemental powers are and what they cost and all of that.
True.
We're not going into all of that today, but
Please don't.
yeah.
That sounds like a lot.
And then there was this, is healing related to water or fire? And like we talked about yesterday, because healing is often seen as a water thing in many traditions and in many mythologies. But
fire is also cleansing.
Yeah, I talked about how I like fire and healing being related to each other because, which is not something we need to discuss a whole lot. We can just, do we agree with that or not? Do we want healing and fire to in some way be related in people's minds, even if it's not related magically?
I'm just turned into a burrito. Don't mind me.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. We also have how they know where to go next from a challenge. If they get hints when they dream that tells them where to go next, or potentially just suggests that, you might want to go here now. I
have a question for a thing that I don't know if we've thought about.
I
can say I've just made an assumption, but I don't know if we've actually decided anything about it. When you enter the territory of certain kind of elementals, does your challenge start right then? Because I assume you don't get do-overs.
No.
Or do you just sit in their territory for a day and like, okay, this is plants. I'm observing. Okay. And then you do it. We haven't decided how that works either.
No. I imagine it might work a little differently from time to time, from elemental to elemental, from person to person.
Do they also have to prove to the elemental that, yes, it's me, the chosen one, I have to, I'm here to do the quest? Or will they just magically know that, you're the person?
I mean, I'm still thinking that the elementals are not the ones that, they don't have anything to do with the quests. They just happen in their territories.
Fair
enough. Because of magic. Gods and stuff.
One of them things.
Yeah. That's my thinking, but we can definitely talk about that. Let's see. Yeah. When does the challenge start? Each element. We'll understand what we meant for that.
Sure.
And then, yes, that's not really world building as much as just a note. And then it is, do they get an item as well as a power and a virtue from the trials?
Yeah. And I'm torn on that because we were talking from the beginning. I think we're talking about that, I've now done the fire challenge. Now I have the fire power, whatever that means. If that's lighting matches or throwing fireballs. And then we added in the virtues. I have to learn a lesson too. Which I like. But I'm like, are you going to walk away having learned a lesson, gained a, metaphysical, it's not the right word, but like a power? I can now create fire in my hands and an item. Is that too much? Or is like the metal, could it be different? Like fire, you learn how to make fireballs, but the metal one, you walk away with armor or a sword or something made of this magic metal. Or you turn to a cyborg. That's more robot than metal. Never mind.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Am I just adding more questions?
No, I mean, that was the question.
Yeah.
The question was, do they get an item as well as a power and virtue? And it's true, maybe they shouldn't get too much. And also the thing with an item is that, what does that accomplish? Because I think that the virtue accomplishes that you have learned something that is going to be useful for you
as a ruler.
The element or the power, that is, I'm thinking at least of that as a sort of proof that this god has accepted me as worthy. That is a proof that you have learned the virtue, basically. Whereas an item wouldn't really do much, especially since an item isn't. If I get a sword from the metal elementals, I could that sword could get stolen from me. I could give that away. That doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah. It's not bound to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That said, there could be a thing where like you get maybe not something from every, but at the end of it you get a special. Then you get a sword if something like that.
Yeah. Because I think the reason we started talking about the getting an object or getting an item was with the metal elementals, which is still tongue twister. Metal elementals.
Metal elemental.
And like, what would they give you? Because metal is not a power. Fire, you can have power. Wind, air, you can have power. Electricity can be a power, but how is metal a power?
I mean, the power over metal.
You can bend it to your will.
More or less.
Okay, fair enough. But I think that's where it started. And then we're like, oh, but she could get a compass from the water and she could do this and this and this. I don't think it's necessary.
No.
I think it's better if they just get the power and the virtue or the lesson learned.
Maybe.
Violet is suggesting that the power is to use the metal sword. Like not everyone can use... like not everyone can, like Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and didn't we talk, not yesterday, but like last week, about a sword in the stone type thing?
Yeah.
That they had to be... We don't have to actually have a sword in stone, but like that and Thor's hammer is like, you have to be the chosen one. You have to be worthy.
Yeah. So that could be like... Maybe they're... This makes me think that maybe, what if there are like... what is that called?
You know, Swedish term?
Regalia.
Royal heirlooms? No?
Sort of.
Yeah, old crowns and spires and...
Yeah, that type of thing. Where like there is one for each... there is one for each element. And you need the elemental powers to be able to wield them, like a sword, for example, or other things for other.
You mean that the royal heirlooms then are like kept in the castle, in the throne room, in the whatever, and you gain the powers to eventually be able to wield them. You don't find them spread out on your journey.
No, those belong to. To the castle, they belong to the current ruler, which gives the current ruler a leg up if we eventually write about them fighting.
I like that. I like that a lot. Relic is potentially.
Relic is it's at least close to what I mean.
Yeah. Regalia is a very pretty word.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, very regal sounding. Yeah, no, but that could work. And then, but okay, if we then. Now we're taking things... This is world building, though, so we're on the right path, right?
Yes.
There should then be 7 items.
Yes.
There should be a cloak, a crown. Because I want to tie what is the crown, what is the sword, and like what are they tied to in terms of the elements. Like, I want the cloak, the cape, the whatever, to be plants, because like a meadow of flowers, a cloak of like
cool.
I'll wait. You type that out first. I'm gonna keep it in chocolate. Oh. How does that work with them being 2 people though? It will alternate who's ruling.
No, I mean they don't. I'm not thinking that they need to always be wielding these things. I think that's rather yeah. I mean they're meant to co-rule. They can just share the things.
This cloak is big enough for both of us.
Yes.
And they'll close you up with a cup of tea, and you know.
Yeah. Okay. I want to go back to the chat and see what they've been saying before we got sidetracked to this.
Yeah.
Moon said that good question. Does the challenge start with a warning, or could it happen suddenly and catch them unprepared? Yeah, and I'm thinking it would be kind of cool if it was different.
In different zones
Yeah.
or territories, yeah.
And like this time in the fire's territory, it just starts.
Yeah.
You get no warning.
No.
Whereas maybe someone else earlier in history got a warning for their fire trial.
Yeah.
Because we already said that the trials are going to be different for each person.
Yeah. Except for the fire trial for our two characters then, but
well, yes,
close
but
enough to be
different each time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about that.
Yeah. I just figured out that the plants, the plants challenge should be vines or like crawly plants. Crawly plants are a thing, but and like you don't notice it. But like if it was a movie, you'd see the characters from head on, and then you just see in the background how like things are just kind of growing, but then they turn around and like nothing's moving, and then oh no, that was probably just a breeze I heard, and then eventually they're grabbed.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
My bad.
I'm just saying.
Amy said that I'd assume the elementals would play some part in the trials, but their involvement could also be different from element to element. Yeah. We need to discuss that because
there are several good versions, and we just haven't decided.
They could judge, supervise, or share some wisdom either before or after, if they aren't posing the actual challenge. That's true.
Yeah, because if we've said that this is elemental territory or elemental territories, but the challenge is set up magically or by a god or something, do the elementals live in their territory, or is it just where they came from and where they go for summer vacation? Are they there?
I've been assuming that they're there.
Cool. So they can actually be characters that the MCs can interact with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, with the virtue, I was thinking that they succeed in the trials by proving their own virtues. So they prove that they already have one of the crucial virtues for being suitable to rule. Yeah. I mean, we've talked a little bit about both. And I think, here's the thing. In a way, I personally, philosophically, believe that you can't learn most virtues. You like, if you have them, but you might not know that you have them, or you might not like have found your way of being patient or gracious or humble or So it's a matter of, to me, proving that you have it / finding where you have it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think so. I hadn't thought about it. So you mean that like you can't learn patience, you can't learn honesty. You have it somewhere in your being.
Yeah.
But whether or not you're good at it or you know how to use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even know that you have it.
Well, I have no patience, so it's fine. I'm just doing call ladder here. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna move on.
Yeah.
Moon says that, or they could get a piece of information or a piece of a map. Yeah. That's also true. Magnetic power. That's a good point. True. with metal power.
True.
Yes. AD says, I like where this is going. The unfortunate thing is that I don't know when you said that.
I think that was for the relics, and that they earn the right to wear them. I think. Correct us if we're wrong, maybe. We might be, on par when you comment that and know what you were talking about that time.
Yes. And together they make up a magical regalia. Is regalia actually a word in English as well? I didn't know.
Might actually be, yeah.
Cool. Then I've learned a new word that I already knew. Um,
Yeah, it is. Oh, sorry, that was loud. It is.
cool.
Yeah. Congratulations.
And yes, I was thinking that then these items would all be in the capital, and either like the ruler has them and carries them, or there is a trophy case or a treasury somewhere where they keep them when they don't need them. And I can imagine like the more insecure the ruler is, the more of them they always carry and wear, because they need to prove their power.
Yep.
Whereas maybe they're actually only meant to be used, like the water one is meant to be used when there hasn't been rain in a while, and the ruler needs to give water to their people, and the sword is supposed to be used only
to defend the country.
Yeah. And that kind of thing. Yeah. And AV did like where it was going when we're talking about the 7 items.
Me too. I want to list out the 7 items.
Cool. And Moon likes the plant thing. So 50s horror movie as a kid with plants swallowing up a house with people in it. That sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Or horrifying, maybe. Hey. Horror movie. Like the challenge is a crucible that refines the virtue that is in you, but hasn't necessarily been drawn out yet. Exactly. Yeah.
So it's not so much anymore of learning learning to be brave, but it's showing that you are brave.
Yeah.
Just so I'm understanding correctly.
Yeah. Okay.
List
then
the things. List the things.
My question.
List the things.
My question. Is it currently more important to figure out how shapeshifting works?
List the things.
Chat, what do you think? Should we do shapeshifting, or should we list all of these 7 items?
Not just list them. Also figure out what power or what which elemental power region territory that they're connected to.
Yeah, I mean that. I meant that as part of listing them. I just feel like, personally, I feel like while it would be fun to list them, the shapeshifting
is more pressing.
Is something that we need to know in order to continue to plot and stuff, and in order to learn things about your character. But I'm willing to do either. We have time. We've only been on for half an hour yet.
Well then, maybe showing yourself that you're brave as well as proving it to someone else, discovering it within yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine, let's do shapeshifting.
We will do the items later.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about shapeshifting too.
Yeah. Okay then. Shapeshifting.
Yes.
How does it work? And
I see your loophole answer, Eddie.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I feel like the shapeshifting is a blood thing. I mean, it's a race thing. Species. Thank you.
The word, just as a general thing, the word race should not be used in when you're talking about fantasy creatures, because it's
true.
Yeah. It's not a word that is I don't know, good.
No. Species. Because it's a specific kind of species, but they're close to humans. So I don't know what actually makes someone a shapeshifter apart from the ability to be able to shapeshift. Like,
I mean, I would assume there's something
a gene mutation.
I mean, that depends. Do we think of them as that's an important question actually. Are they humans with the shapeshifting ability, or are they a completely different species?
True. And also, like, yeah. That's what I think about, like, reproduction.
Oh.
Are they born looking human? Or are they born looking like horses? Or, you know.
Oh.
That also matters.
Yeah.
And also, if people can shapeshift, people who live in the shapeshifter island archipelago
Mhm.
they are not going to default to looking human.
Probably not.
That's
no.
something also to bear in mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, Moon is saying would not want to give birth to a
But
horse.
what if you were also a horse?
I mean, that's the question.
Yeah.
Does the like if you as the mother
Mm.
shapeshift into a horse and give birth, is the child a horse then? Does it Does it depend on the current shape of the parent?
Mm-hmm. I also started thinking like, I can't. I don't know, because I like that though, in a way. But also like, yes, I am a shapeshifter who can be human and horse. I accidentally gave birth when I was a horse. My child is now a pony. You know,
Well,
without the ability to shapeshift, or would they still be able to shapeshift?
I mean, they will still be able to shapeshift. They'll still be shapeshifters.
Okay.
Just in the form of a horse.
Okay.
I've also like anytime I like think about shapeshifters, I'm a bit like this. Yeah. Okay, but when. Okay, actually, let's not get too carried away.
Okay.
Because
I was gonna say when we started talking about if you turn yourself into a horse and birth a horse, related to that, I was like, is there a connection? I haven't thought this through, but like when I was born, my birthing parent, appeared as a horse in this example. I have an affinity for horses. It's the easiest thing for me to shapeshift into, easiest animal for me to shapeshift into. I can communicate with them, like those kinds of things. If the person who birthed me had instead been a flamingo and laid me as an egg, I suppose I would have the same connection with flamingos.
I mean, potentially.
Yeah. I'm just throwing questions out there.
Yeah. They might shapeshift. They might shift for whatever purpose they need right then. So they need to grab a frisbee on top of a tree. They turn into a giraffe. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Two comments back, though, Moon had a different question. Are they close enough humanoid species? Are they a close enough humanoid species that it's possible for them to reproduce with humans?
Yeah.
I was also wondering about that, and yeah. And are you then a half shapeshifter, or are you still born with all of the powers of shapeshifters, like with the power to shapeshift, or do you only get the human qualities?
I don't know. I mean, that's the first question that we asked that we didn't continue, and AV had a relevant possible idea. They were originally humans, but similar to the elemental, they were touched by the gods. Then they would default to human form, but have the ability to shift.
Yeah.
The wilder idea is if they are another species, that would give you more room to play around with wild forms.
Yeah.
Because that's I think things are happening.
We're being too slow, apparently.
I'm sorry. They should have a humanoid base form. I think that would be easiest. But
I think it would be easiest, but is it a cop-out?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, continue.
So on the shapeshift archipelago, you'd see people in all different forms while you're just walking down the street. Yeah.
I mean, I feel more comfortable as a horse than I do a human.
Yeah.
I want to be a horse.
Yeah.
Centaur. Centaur? Kentaur.
Centaur, I think.
Yes, kentaur in Swedish. We have a hard K.
Yeah. Does shifting also have a cost? Yes, it should definitely have some sort of cost.
Yeah.
Even if they aren't base human species, they could still have an affinity for the human form because of some reason.
I mean, that's true, because then, especially the humans already other us. So if we, there could be a point to us trying to look like them and blend in so they won't other us. Potentially.
Sorry, I think I zoned out in the middle there.
For the shapeshifters, the humans already other them.
Yeah. And
maybe then I, as a shapeshifter, I find it easier to be in a human form because then maybe I can blend in. Maybe they won't other me. Maybe.
But they don't even live together.
No, and that's why I don't want the opening scene from my main character to be like, look at all these humanoid people walking around. Because
Yeah.
I feel like people should be shapeshifty. But also like when they shapeshift, if I now if I now shapeshift into a horse, can I still talk?
Yeah, that's a we're asking many good questions. I would like us to give some answers soon as well. Moon says, I like the idea of a shapeshifter having a form or a couple of forms that are particularly good at or inclined towards.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Definitely.
Does shifting also affect their minds? Do they keep their mind entirely intact? That's a good question. Is there a chance that maybe you could write down all of these good questions that were?
Sure. I'm prepared for that. It's not even like I have things open and I don't have my thing hooked up. My keyboard isn't hooked up.
I'm sorry. Okay, then you will not write things down.
I can find the cord.
Okay. In the meantime, hello Eve and hello Windjagger.
Hello, welcome. Eve, you're streaming at 3, aren't you? Just gonna plug you now that you're here. There we go. Okay, sorry. Let's go through all these questions again, shall we? I'm just gonna pull up the document. My desk is so full of things. And now I sing a song that no one wants to hear. Do. Welcome to songs.
Are you ready for questions?
No, because my document is still loading and just expanding in terms of pages. And it's 26. How many pages do we have? 26?
Yes, we have a lot of pages.
Wow. Okay. I will just make a new page at the very end.
Uh-huh.
Okay, questions.
Yes. So, we started with shapeshifters. Are they base human? Can they reproduce with humans?
Can they reproduce with other humans? Yes.
Avi's idea of maybe they were originally humans.
Right. Originally humans touched by the gods.
Yeah.
Might explain the ruler's hatred towards them. Why wasn't I touched by the gods?
But they have been. The ruler has obviously been touched by the gods with all of the... Anyway. Violet is asking, does shifting have a cost?
Shifting have a cost.
And we also like the idea of shapeshifters having one or more forms that they're particularly...
Yes.
They particularly like.
Forms that they... Yes.
Yeah.
With that, I want to say though, like, from an outsider perspective, it would seem useful that, like, okay, you have one sea creature, one flying creature, and one land creature that you can shapeshift into.
Mm-hmm.
Because useful. Look at all the things you can go.
Uh-huh.
Look at all the things you can go. Yep. But I'm pretty sure, like, I'm sure there are people who are gonna be like, no, I just really like birds. I'm gonna be 3 different kinds of birds.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Does shifting affect their minds? How do they keep their mind intact? I also want to ask, how do they communicate with each other?
How does it affect their minds? Does it keep their minds intact? Was that it?
Yeah.
How do they communicate? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't spell communicate, but come on, communicate. Is it 2 M's?
I don't know. It should tell you.
It's wrong either way. Okay.
Moon is suggesting, as for cost, maybe shifting takes time or leaves them vulnerable for a little bit as they change or recover from the change.
Takes time or
leaves them vulnerable for a bit.
Leaves them vulnerable. Yeah.
Eve is saying that she's more for 2 forms, classic werewolf style that you can shapeshift between one thing and another thing.
Style. Transform between one thing and another thing.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
And Avi is suggesting that they could shapeshift into more things, different things when they're young, but when as they go older, Yeah, I really like that too.
Yeah.
Because that's a very it's a thing well, you learn a lot of new things when you're a kid, but as you get older, you only do some of them and then you forget how to do the other things.
Mm.
When you're a kid, you have, the potential to become good at everything. And then eventually you become good at something and just, yeah. I really like that. That's really good.
I have a follow-up question.
Uh-huh.
Oh, follow-up, but you started talking about children and you can be good at anything in imagination and those things. I'm now going to shapeshift into a horse. Will I be a black, white, brown, red, I don't know what you call them in English, spotted horse? Or can I be a pink horse with a rainbow mane?
That's a good question. Put it in. Sorry.
Yeah, realistic animals.
Yeah. And Moon is also pointing out that if your MC is between child and adult and is becoming less malleable in what they can, how she can shift.
Yeah.
So many questions. Another question: does shifting affect their mass or size, or do they have to keep their mass? That is also a very good question.
Sorry. Does it affect size and mass? Okay, question.
Yeah.
Just so I understand this correctly, I understand size.
Yeah.
Mass, does that mean that you have the same weight regardless?
More or less, yes.
Yeah, so okay, I'm now a giraffe, but I still weigh the same as I weigh as in a human form.
Yeah.
I'm gonna topple over or blow away. Or
yeah, and that's the point. Then you can only shapeshift between things that weigh roughly the same as a human, or you shapeshift into a really small giraffe.
Puppy-sized elephants.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah. And yes, communication is one of the most, one of the first things I think about when it comes to creating new species, because I think it's really interesting.
I'm just imagine if they can, I'm a horse, I can communicate with horses. And you're like, I'm going to go into my horse form and communicate with these horses to get directions. And then you do, and they're like, we're land horses. We have a different dialect than you have.
Yes.
Det är cool. No.
Yeah, and Violet said something that then jumped.
Go.
Keep thinking that they have only a few forms downloaded at a time and have some ritual to switch them out. That's possible. Yeah, yeah.
Needs a ritual to change that out now.
And Eve is saying that I like when coloring trends are reflective of base character. You're a redhead and shift into a wolffish bird. You're a red wolffish bird. I like that too. So
related to what you yourself look like, what you look like in human form.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Moon is talking about mega mice and giraffes blowing away. Because if you turn into a tiny giraffe, you also should turn into a big mouse if you turn into a mouse.
Yeah.
And
I hate it.
Yeah. And Violet is imagining really heavy birds. Yes.
It's the size of a sparrow, but you can't fly. Okay, I take back what I said about it might be useless to be a flying creature. Take it back.
Yes. Okay, so we now have a bunch of questions, and let's see if we can find some answers.
Are we continue with your side, or should we switch over to mine? We're in the same document. But...
Yeah, I'm thinking that we can. Let's see. I'm gonna go down to wherever you are.
Oh, scroll.
Yes,
that's where I'm at.
Cool. How about you?
Avies, there should be an aspect of you have to understand the thing you want to shapeshift into, or you can shift into anything you can imagine. A squid, fox, snake, rock.
Yes.
How about I, you, we, what?
I have a few questions that I think are important to answer first.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of basic.
Yeah.
And then we go on to the other questions.
There's a little fruit fly. Yes.
One of them is a question that we have already touched on, and that is, how close to humans are they? Are they a completely different species? Can they reproduce with humans? And we that's just.
And also, if they can reproduce with humans, could you also reproduce with a horse? In your horse form. I'm not suggesting anything else, but like, isn't that a valid question?
It is.
In a way. One you want to talk about?
It is in a way, but that depends on if they are human, like if they are humans with a mutation, or if they are a different species.
Cool.
Yeah, I would say. So, do we want them to be humans, or have once been humans, or do we want them to be a completely different species?
Are you asking me or the chat?
I'm asking everyone. And I'm thinking we maybe shouldn't discuss this question too much. Because
we should just make a decision and run with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, because even if they are closely related to humans, and it is that they've been touched by the gods, or it's a mutation or something, I don't want them to default to human, you know? Because that's boring. No, but it would be. It's like, oh, I can shapeshift when I need to, but I'm perfectly happy being a human all the time. That doesn't make sense to me.
But that's more of a personality thing, like each individual, what they find most,
Maybe. And yes, Loki. Yes, Moon. Loki did.
Loki did indeed.
That's
how Sleipnir happened. That is also how the large snake happened. I don't know what that's called in English. Midgårdsormen. And something else.
No.
Don't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure that Loki had 3 kids.
Cool.
But yes.
They could have mythology, so you don't have to know for sure whether they were once humans, but they believe they diverged at some point in the past. That's
true.
That's true.
But then, okay, so AV and Violet is saying that they like that close to human.
Then let's have them be close to human.
Yeah.
But like Moon said, mythologically, maybe they diverged at some point, or something has clearly happened, but maybe we don't need to know in great detail if they were touched by the gods, or if they ate a weird snake, or if what happened.
Yeah. But then the next question is, can they reproduce with humans?
I feel like they should be able to.
Well, I feel like it would be...
If we're talking mutation. Sorry, go on.
I feel like it would be easiest if they can't.
Yeah.
Because then we have to world build less.
Yeah, okay, I'll have them not be able to do it. I'm gonna say this, it's gonna sound bad, but like their parts fit. But they can't actually, like they're the building blocks don't.
Yes.
Yeah, fertilization can happen. Sex can.
Yeah.
Good talk.
Yeah. AV is also leaning towards not being able to reproduce with humans.
Yeah.
Then we'll just say that. Cannot reproduce with humans. And then presumably not horses or other creatures either.
No.
Yeah. Yes, parts.
Well, I'm trying to keep it YouTube friendly, and then I said the word sex. So.
Well, we say the word queer all the time, and that's also
queer sex.
Okay, moving on.
Good to know. No romance in this book, but possibly interspecies hanky-panky.
I mean, maybe.
I didn't say that.
Okay, fine. Do Okay, let's.
Welcome to this.
My next question was going to be the very, very basis of what can they shift into and what can they change? Can they only shift between like human and animal? Can they change their human appearance?
Yeah, that's. I hadn't thought that far, but I started doing it now.
Yeah.
Great if you're on the run.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm just getting Flynn or Eugene Fitzherbert tangled. They just can't get my nose right. Like, you keep changing your nose. Like,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So yes, just that is a question. And another question that I maybe should have asked before that is, what do their human form look like?
Yeah.
Is their human form indistinguishable from other humans, or do they have some distinguishing feature?
Because I mean, if they don't have an indistinguishable feature, if they don't have a distinguishable feature, there we go. Yeah, double negative there. If they like, oh, I can walk down the street, look completely human, no one will question it, then why are they divided? Then you could just try to blend in. Or you could just successfully blend in the human world, never change into your animal form or in front of anyone else. And we wouldn't have this big divide. What?
No, I'm not accusing you of anything. But that is exactly what homophobes are telling gay people. You could just marry a person of the opposite sex and just not show that you're gay and everything would be fine.
That is not how I wanted that to come across. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry.
That's okay. I know that's not what you meant.
Yeah.
But that is like my answer to that question is that why should they?
Yeah. No, but I'm just thinking if we for the story look at like, oh, but we, you guys live over there, we live over here, we'll never communicate, we'll never even trade, barely. Well, that's an easy obstacle to overcome by just appearing human.
Yeah, but maybe they don't want to overcome it.
No, yeah. I'm very sorry. Now I feel really shitty.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I maybe shouldn't have pointed it out, but I felt like it should be said.
Yeah. Cool. Well, if we want them to have a distinguishable feature, what would that be? Is it like, oh, we're all born with green hair that we can never change out of?
Yeah.
Or is it something else?
Or that they can change out of. I'm not saying, like, if they can change their appearance, they can probably change, unless it's a thing of, like, all shapeshifters always have purple eyes. No matter what you turn into.
Your horse will have purple eyes.
Yeah.
Like the horse that you are, not the horse. Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, the first question is, do we want them to have a feature? Do we want them to look completely human in their human form, or do we want them to have something?
I don't know. I'm torn.
No?
I think both could be both could be good.
No.
I don't know which one I prefer.
No. Chat. There we go. If we want physical distinguishing, they could be born.
No.
Could be born human-like with tails, ears, scales, etc., or other random non-human attributes. Yeah.
I mean, now that we've sort of evolved, might be the wrong word, but now that we've changed the elementals.
Yeah.
Because they were going to be half human. Well, they're still half human, half something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Most except the Beatles. Yeah. But then they're too similar. I feel like if I'm a shapeshifter and I'm born with scales, unless there's scales, because I don't think we gave anyone scales.
Yes, we did. The fire ones. They're dragons.
The dragons. Okay. I don't know. I feel like that would be too similar to the elementals, especially if we don't want to have a connection between the elementals and the shapeshifters.
Sorry. Again, stone that.
I don't want them to have the same physical attributes in that case as elementals.
No.
Because then there's not going to be a connection between elementals and shapeshifters.
No.
And then I don't want it to be, scales here and scales there.
No.
In that case, shapeshifters are born with I don't know, something we haven't thought of.
Rainbow hair?
Purple eyes, rainbow hair, sure. Something like that. I don't know. Rainbow hair would be so hard to hide, though.
I mean, if they can't shift out of it, they could... I mean, that could be a whole thing. We need to color our hair all the time.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah.
I'm not completely sold on it.
Now, Moon is saying, like in Star Trek, there are all kinds of humanoid species played by human actors with makeup, facial prosthetics, etc. So they're very similar to humans, but have noticeable differences. Yeah. Avi is saying that I also don't mind them looking completely human. Neither do I, for the record. They don't have to have a distinguishable feature. I just wanted to ask if they did. For the story, for the purposes of the story, if they have a distinguishable feature, then your characters are going to have a harder time blending in. They're going to have to hide whatever that is.
Yeah.
And always be scared that someone's going to find out that they're shapeshifters.
Yeah.
Which is good for tension. Don't know if that's a subplot we want.
Neither one.
But it's a thing to take into consideration.
Yeah, and I mean that also really depends on what it is. I mean, if it's purple eyes and you can't shift out of it, you can't look anyone in the eye.
No.
If it's you have a mark on your hand, well, you could just wear gloves.
Yeah.
Like, that is easier to hide.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would they, if the only thing sort of distinguishing them from humans is that they can shapeshift and humans can't, is that enough of a difference?
I mean, yes.
Maybe it would be easier that way. Maybe. And then if we down the line realize that, no, I really want it to be noticeable, then we can add in the purple eyes or the rainbow hair or the half mermaids or whatever.
The half mermaids. So.
Oh, right. That's not even a reverse. Yes, half mermaids. Then you get the seashell bra and I don't know, the hair, the kelp for hair. I don't know.
Cool.
I don't know.
Well, in their human form, they are indistinguishable from humans.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure that. Yeah. Okay. Yes,
huh?
They are. But if we say yes to them being able to just change some of their features, they could give themselves purple eyes.
I mean, yes.
If they felt like it.
Yes. Indistinguishable. Oh, really? I got it right?
Yeah.
Huh. I am impressed.
Or we've turned off the correct, because I don't think I spelled my word right.
Nope.
Okay.
That works.
A defeat.
Half mermaid, one leg, one fin. Yeah.
That would be kind of problematic. But I do like the idea of mermaids with two tails. I like that.
Cool.
And then they paddle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Moon is saying that there would have to be some way that humans at least think they can tell who's a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
I think so too. And I think that... Sorry, did you want to say something?
I'm going to say that later. You first.
Yeah. I believe that the humans will have made something up.
Yeah.
With like, well, most shapeshifters or all shapeshifters have purple eyes. But obviously they can also shapeshift, so you still can't trust who's who.
Yeah.
Or who's what.
Yeah.
Regardless of if they can change their eye color or not, the humans are going to believe that they can.
Yeah, there's going to be
tails. Because I think there is a... and now I'm taking this from discussions about trans people. There has to be a way that people, but we can tell because there is a tell. But also, you never know who is who. You never... They can trick you into whatever. And I'm thinking that they would do the same things to shapeshifters, just because why wouldn't they?
Humans, yeah.
Yeah.
Moon's earlier comment, it would make trade, etc. much easier, and the ruler's policy of you can't interact with them, it would make it impossible to enforce. 2 up, 1 above, half mermaid.
Oh, there.
Yeah. I read that, and I read as far as trade, and then I think my eyes skipped, and then instead of ruler's policy, I read return policy. And I think it's very important that the trading has a return policy. No more than 14 days. You have to return it in the whatever. Yeah, nope.
Yes.
But it would make the policy impossible to enforce.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
So it's kind of witch hunting. A human can be born with a quality that makes others human suspicions of them. Yeah. Like if the thing is that they believe that shapeshifters have purple eyes, if you have blue eyes with like, those eyes are purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like AVs too.
Yeah.
Superstitious humans. Hello, human. Thinks that shapeshifters are repelled by garlic or something along those lines. I like that. Are you writing that down? Should I write that down? I can write it now.
Okay.
Superstitions about shapeshifters and the reverse. Should shapeshifters also have superstitions about humans?
I mean, that depends, because we said that humans sometimes live with the shifters, and also I think the shifters don't really have, we hate humans. It like humans are evil and all of that. It's rather, well, humans don't like us, we don't like them either.
Okay, yeah, just wanted to.
I for some reason want to make the shapeshifters more reasonable.
Yeah,
than I want to
same.
make the humans.
Same.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my next question was, do they you could have a whole cottage industry of people making shapeshifter repelling charms or something. Definitely.
Yeah. Imagine if they actually worked though. Now I'm just like my main character. She has a name now. They're going through a town and this trinket is pretty. I'll have some cash over. I'll take it. And then like, why does this burn me? Like I'm really, really uncomfortable right now. Yeah.
I mean, shapeshifters could have an allergy. Like a very, very common allergy among shapeshifters is an allergy towards
grain.
I mean,
they're
something.
All celiacs. Celiacs, yeah.
I'm like they're allergic to a certain material that So it's not really a magic repellent. It's more that yes, I'm a shapeshifter. I'm allergic to silk. You're trying to put silk on me. I'm gonna break out a rash. I mean. Huh?
Yeah. Then what?
Then my next question was how much. Basically, how does the shapeshifting work? Can they shapeshift just part? Can I just change my hair? Can I make myself a little shorter, a little taller? That, or is it just that I can shapeshift into a black horse, and potentially also other like things, but I can't change the color of the horse, and like.
Yeah, and also like if you change into, I'm trying to think of something, birthmarks. If you have a birthmark, I mean, I have a birthmark on my lip, which is very like noticeable in my face. If I shapeshift into a dog, will I have a spot right there? Do I still have my own? I was gonna say trademarks. It's really not. What am I looking for? Markings or birthmark scars, like those things.
Yeah.
Do they transfer over into my animal form? Provided, of course, that my animal has
the potential of having a birthmark.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have something on my foot and suddenly I transform into something that doesn't have legs. A snake.
Yeah.
Took too long. Will I still have that mark on my horse leg? Foot, hoof. I know horses. They have legs sometimes.
And they can climb trees.
You want to tell them?
I had a dream where there was a horse and we were looking for the horse, and then when we found it, it had climbed a tree. And then I woke up screaming, and Matilda thinks that shouldn't be a scary dream.
Well, not really, but Marcus has a lot of nightmares, and him having nightmares wakes me up, and then I wake him to get him out of the nightmare. And it was like one of those dreams where like I can tell from miles away this is a proper super scary nightmare. And then what he tells me is there was a horse and it climbed a tree. And I'm like, well, luckily horses don't climb trees. Well, this one did.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
And I feel like that is valid.
I feel like that's valid too. But I'm like, I was picturing like scary monster you being chased. There were knives everywhere. Not a horse climbing a tree.
Well, that's on you. That sounds like you problem.
Yeah, I don't know. You asked the question if they can change into anything. No. What did you ask?
Can they change like
Parts of them?
Appearance of? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can they change coloring? Can they change that kind of thing?
Yeah. I like AB's thought of maybe the birthmark hair color usually follows into whatever else they shift into. They could change hair color, but it takes a lot of effort to change natural features.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might actually be more straining to like, oh, I'm going to grow myself a new nose, as opposed to I'm now going to be a horse.
Yeah. And I'm thinking maybe that's also something that what I think it was Moon who said earlier, that you like things are easier when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Maybe as an adult you can't change, or it takes a lot of effort to change details.
Yeah.
But changing between appearance of species
is faster.
Simple.
Yeah. I like that. And I do like that birthmarks and the like follows over.
Yeah.
I like that. Obviously there's going to be some variation. And I mean, it would be kind of impractical to like, oh, I'm going to change into a parrot. I'm going to be a very bland looking parrot.
You know that there are bland looking parrots.
Okay,
right?
but I tried to think of animal that is colorful. A peacock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I'm thinking maybe you don't like, you still have the mark though. Like you can still have a birthmark. Maybe you don't still have your brown hair.
No.
Nothing is brown about your peacock as long as you turn into a male one.
Yeah.
But you still have the mark in your face that was a birthmark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's easier to change when you're younger. We decided that.
Yeah.
Which I have here in the notes that I wrote too. And that goes for both species and appearance.
Yeah.
Those are two separate things.
It's possible to, when they shift, the creature they shift into have the same
it's not features, it's not traits. It's
I'm gonna do features in
okay, I didn't see that you wrote down, sorry. It's not features.
Same features as the human form. Coloring, birthmarks, probably also scars, etc.
Yeah.
They can change this, but it takes a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes even more effort the older you get.
Yeah. Yes. No, they commented the dream, and the fact that reality is warped is terrifying, and even the specific way it's warped is a little silly in retrospect. I mean, that is the thing that happens.
Yeah. It was a goat that fell apart too.
Yeah.
I still don't know what happened. I just picture like a puzzle falling apart.
No, it was a goat and it fell apart.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Bless you.
Yeah, I was gonna sneeze, but I didn't. I like the birthmark thing. Like, there's something that you carry over into your shifted form, but you can override it if you're gifted. Exactly. Yeah. Or with the expenditure of extra energy / time. And maybe that's also like, because I'm thinking that shifting is not difficult to maintain. Like, when you turn into a horse, you're a horse until you turn back.
Yeah, it's not like it's going to fade over time or anything. Yeah.
And you don't need to make an effort to keep it, but maybe you need to make an effort in order to not have that distinguishable feature that you got rid of.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you don't want that birthmark, yes, you can remove it, but you have to, like, keep pushing it away in a way.
Oh, yeah. Those things will come back if you don't.
Like,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Violet's comment, now I'm thinking birthmarks should be a feature that sets them apart from humans. That or some sort of tattoo culture could be cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like tattoos.
I know you do. I know you do.
As a mom, I'm having a lot of sympathy for shapeshifter parents who are like, come back here, and their kid ran off as a horse and then turned into a bird and perched on top of a tree.
Well,
yeah, especially if the parent doesn't have the same range of once upon a time I could have turned into a bird and just gotten you down from there, but I haven't turned into a bird for 3 decades.
I could be a bird next Thursday. Does that work for you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mm?
Okay, so when they shift the creature, they shift into have the same features as the human form.
Mm-hmm.
They can change this, but it takes a lot of effort.
Mm-hmm.
And did we like that it like took continuous effort to keep it away? Or
I like that. I mean, imagine then like, oh, I'm on the run, I'm really busy, I'm being a horse. You know, I'm just going to blend in with these horses. I'm really stressed. And then like, oh, I forgot that I have green hair. My hair's not green again. And then you start back on like,
square one.
That is a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. On square one. And like, okay, now I have to slowly turn my hair from green to brown. It's going to take about 4 days.
Takes a lot of effort. Continuous effort.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And yeah, Evie also likes that it takes continuous effort to change your own features.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you gonna say something?
No, I was gonna ask if we should actually, because I see the next question. You maybe had something else in your mind. Whatever. But like, I don't feel like we should jump from this to the elementals when we still have these questions left.
No.
Yeah. That took about 14 sentences, too many to say. Very sorry.
My next question regarding the shapeshifting would be the thing of like, okay, but can you turn into one other thing, or can you turn into several? How many things? Because I also liked, who was that? Was it Violet that said that having, was it Eve? Anyway, whoever said that
multiple forms when you're a child.
No? The having just a few forms downloaded, I think was the
yeah.
And either with a ritual to change them out, or with a like with a you have to practice.
I mean, is there a risk at any point of becoming a very unbelievable horse? Not in terms of coloration, but like, oh, I'm shape-shifting into a horse now. Yeah, you forgot 2 legs and you have a neck like a giraffe, and is that a risk as well?
I don't know.
Cool. That was not quite what we were talking about, was it?
Not exactly, but it is related, and it is a very good question. AV saying, I'm thinking if a young child is very unhappy with some permanent feature, they can change it by continuously having to maintain effort, but after a few months, it begins to become permanent as it sells into their self-identity, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I mean, as a
Yeah.
as a trans person,
Yep.
I like that very much.
Yep. I'm just adding a question to this document.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there then also like I mean, you said as a young child,
Mm.
but I'm wondering, like, if I realize in my 30s XYZ about myself,
Oh.
will that be harder to maintain? Or if I keep it up for a month, if that was the example here, will that become permanent? Unless I choose to wish it. Unless I choose to wish it. Unless I choose to change it.
I don't know.
No. Okay.
I mean, to start with, do we like that bit at all? Do we want to keep that bit at all?
Which bit?
Being able to permanently change things about yourself.
Yes, I think that would be good.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, permanent is still, like, you would still have the option to change it again. If I decide at 4 years old that I'm going to have blonde hair, and I do it for a month and it becomes permanent, I can still 3 years later be like, no, I want to have pink hair.
I mean, probably.
And do that for a month, and then that becomes permanent. Like,
Yeah.
So permanent is like a quote unquote permanent.
Well, I think I'm thinking permanent here in the sense that
You don't have to upkeep it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Upkeep it, keep it up, whatever.
With prolonged effort, at least in younger years. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are so many places to start here. How do you learn how to shapeshift into a certain thing? I think AV said earlier something about knowing, having to understand the thing you're shapeshifting into.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know the anatomy of a horse, you can't turn into a horse. Or is it more like, I don't know how many Americans, I'm just assuming, know what animorphs is. Do you know animorphs?
Yeah.
Is it like that? I touch a horse, now I can turn into a horse, but in this version I'm going to turn into a horse that looks more like me.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it, yeah.
I mean, that would be very limiting if you have to touch a horse to be a horse. Then you have to find a horse if you want to turn into a horse.
Yeah.
Cool. Doesn't work for my side plot.
With the horse?
Yeah, doesn't work.
I mean, he could have touched a horse earlier in his life.
Okay, so once you've touched a horse, you can always be a horse.
Yes.
Okay. One horse, always a horse.
Yeah.
Horses will be horses.
I mean, you learn the horse template, and then you have and I'm imagining like some people can only keep 3 shapes, like once they've learned a horse and a dog and an owl. If they now want to learn dolphin, they can't keep all of those. They're gonna forget one of the other ones. And some people are like, no, like I can have 20 different things, and children have more of them than adults do. Like Violet said as well a little earlier.
Yeah. So that poor mom keeps losing her kid in the barn with a litter of puppies. Yep. It's the dream, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it should be limited somehow. I feel like you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to be a dragon snake, fox rock, or whatever the suggestion was a while back. And then voila, you've created this new species that doesn't make sense. And, you know. But I feel like you need to at least conceptualize what a horse is. Seen a horse.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Huh?
No. Okay. It also depends, like, okay, I've seen a horse. Can I now be a horse? Or do I have to touch it, understand it? Like, there are degrees to that.
Yeah.
But also, like, when I become the horse, do I, like, flawlessly behave as a horse? Or do I have to practice galloping?
Yeah, I mean, that I think was relates to Avi's question earlier about do they keep their minds? Do they lose their minds?
Yeah. Because I'm just like, oh, I've never seen a horse, I'm going to be a horse, but I've only seen this horse lying down. I don't know how to get up.
Yes, but that
No, right. Don't carry it away.
That's okay. Let's see. I like that Moon pointed out if Lida and Tev try to look a certain way to avoid detection for too long, they could end up accidentally becoming their default. I like that. So seeing, touching, or spending time with an animal gives you that option. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Violet loves the default example is a horse.
I mean, I feel like giving the same example over and over is better than like, oh, puppy this time, horse that time, snake this time.
Yeah.
I feel like it's better.
Yes. And Avi asked, what about inanimate objects? I was intending to ask that question earlier also. Can they turn into inanimate objects, or can they just turn into living beings?
I was thinking living beings.
Yeah.
I saw Avi's next comment. The kid wants to be a rock. Can you just become a rock? That's even worse than losing a child in a pile of puppies.
Yes. Okay, my child is one of these rocks.
He doesn't have birthmarks.
Yeah, I also want to say that inanimate objects is difficult. If nothing else, inanimate objects don't have a mind. So, like, if you turn into a rock, you're
stuck.
My thinking is you don't have a brain. You don't have a way to turn into anything else.
Yeah.
You're essentially dead.
Yay.
Yeah.
Rocks are now dead shapeshifters. You heard it here first. No. I'm thinking living things.
Yeah.
I also can't turn myself into a barn, you know. But my question then also becomes, what do we deem living things? Are plants living things?
That is a question for later, I think.
Okay. And I agree with Moon that the shapeshifters have more respect for animals in general.
Yeah.
I think that's very true.
Yeah. As for the behavior, while it would be very funny to see a horse stand up on two legs and walk around like a human, I think the easiest thing would be if you turn into a horse that knows how to be a horse.
Yeah. But you still I still want you to keep some of your brain, though.
I mean, yes.
Some of your mind, some of your...
Yeah.
So, like, I'm a horse. I can fully function as a horse, all things included. You know, I can gallop, I can trot, I can... whatever. I can drink, I can eat. But I'm still in control. I can still change back to human or go from horse to eagle or...
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, you have the instinct of the animal.
Yeah. But
you have your sentience.
Yeah. Because otherwise it's kind of useless if you want to use it, like... I'm not gonna turn into a bird and fly away because it's gonna go faster because it's a straighter path.
No.
I'm a bird now. Seeds. You know.
Yeah, but you might also have to fight the instinct because the instinct might be seeds, but you have to keep.
That might also explain why people aren't in their animal forms all that often.
Maybe unless they like seeds.
Instincts. Yeah.
Because I mean, as a human, I also have instincts. I see something threatening, I want to run. That's an instinct. So I don't think that's But I was wondering if is overthinking a thing
for you, or
I know it's a thing for me,
yes.
But is overthinking a thing for I am a shapeshifter? I have turned into a bird. I am flying. I am suddenly overthinking. Wait, how am I flying? What am I actually doing?
And then you crash.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Would you, in that case, crash? Like, oh, I suddenly forget to flap my wings, and now I've fallen into the trees, but I'm still a bird, right? Because we did say that you still remain in your bird form until you choose to change.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I do. I do. I can see problems. I like that.
Cool. The chat at least likes the idea of resisting the instincts of the animal they're in.
Yeah.
Or the animal they are at the moment.
Yes. They're not. No. No. We said they didn't reproduce with animals.
Well, their parts still fit, don't they?
Move on.
AV is saying, I mean, yes, but as kids, most shapeshifters will learn not to overthink while shifting. Yeah.
I'm thinking that too in general. Like, oh, you know, you might even reach a point in your animal forms where, like, you can autopilot. You can still think, oh, tonight I'm going to cook this for dinner, and still remember to flap your wings and keep flying. But I'm also thinking, like, oh, I'm used to being a horse and galloping down the meadow, but I'm suddenly being chased by a bear. Now I start overthinking. You know?
I mean, the opposite would happen there.
Now I'm chasing a bear.
No, but I'm being chased by a bear. My instincts are going to take over.
Okay, fair enough. That was a bad example. Yeah.
Yeah. And AV says that then there's this one slightly more anxious shapeshifter that can barely shift into anything because they keep overthinking.
Oh no. Honey, I just started thinking of boats. Where Markus's parents have a summer house, and it's on a lake, and there was a boat that went by, and it was making like the brooming, the
engine of it.
The engine of it was making a noise that sounded like boat. And then we said that it had to keep making the boat noise to remind itself that it's a boat so it doesn't sink. And I just feel like fly. Or bird. Like, yeah?
Yes. Yeah. So they can only turn into living things, not inanimate objects.
Yeah.
However, not however,
no.
But they get whatever instincts
the animal has.
Yeah.
So, honey, I just want to ask, are you eating?
Yeah.
I haven't seen you eat a single bite.
I've had some bites.
Okay, cool. Go.
Hunting, picking at seeds, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But keep their sentience and are able to override things.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is a risk that they start overthinking the instincts, sort of.
Uh-huh.
That's definitely how you spell that.
Sure.
Forget how to do things.
Mm-hmm.
How am I saying?
Yeah. But I have a follow-up question there then.
Mm-hmm.
Say that you're a little sparrow and you're flying and you have an instinct to peck at seeds, and you have an instinct to fly away if someone comes close, and, you know,
mm-hmm.
all those things. I've never been a sparrow. I don't know. But seems like it, you know? But now someone is coming after you, or someone's captured you, or you're in a dangerous situation.
Mm-hmm.
Your number one instinct might still be to try to fly away.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, could you be like, no, I'm gonna pick at their eyes, Or would that be too far from your instincts and that would turn you back to human?
I don't think that would turn you back into a human. That
Okay.
would that's a
Survival.
I mean, it's part of the fight or flight instinct.
Yeah.
And like, if I mean, what I'm thinking is, obviously there is a risk that, yes, a predator has got you. You cannot think clearly enough to turn back into a human, or to turn
into a bigger predator.
Yeah. There is that risk, but you can also, and maybe that's a thing that they like practice. They make shapeshifter kids practice that if you turn into a prey animal, remember to like
use what you have to defend yourself.
Yeah.
But okay, just like, what would in this case then be overthinking? Oh, that would more be, how am I flying?
Yeah.
Okay, not like, oh, I am flying, I could also do this.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm thinking they could still think all of the thoughts, but it's more a matter of like, trying to think of something like it. Okay, so you play a sport, and you have always known, like you it's muscle memory how to hit the ball with a racket. But then all of a sudden one day you're overthinking and like, wait, do I usually hold it like this or like that? And all of a sudden you cannot play at all. It's more that kind of overthinking, like, you know how to gallop as a horse.
Okay.
But then all of a sudden, maybe one day you're overthinking it, like, which hoof?
Yeah.
And then you fall.
Yeah, because okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And is that something also related to, because I forgot what it was like 10 minutes ago. I forget what we decided. We decided that however you're able to turn into a horse, whenever you do turn into a horse, you are a convincing enough horse.
Yeah.
Until you start overthinking.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, when you're a child and you turn into a horse, then you have to learn how to gallop. No, that's in your bones. That's in your muscle memory.
Yeah.
Of the part of you that is now a horse.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. AV is also thinking, to answer my own previous question, mass does change at least to some degree or limit, because shapeshifting is partially magical.
Yeah, I mean, I would like for you to turn into a horse.
But what about a pony?
Or a pony horse, but like, you can choose, I'm going to be a pony, I'm going to be a horse, like that. But you retain the mass of a pony or a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't weigh what a human weighs. You weigh.
Yeah. So you can turn into anything from a fly to a whale.
Yeah.
And
be convincing.
Yeah.
We don't want any giraffes toppling over and whatever else it was. Heavy birds.
They can turn into any kind of animal.
Yeah.
Size or mass doesn't matter.
Will that matter? Yeah, I like that. And you right, we wrote that you have features from you turn into a brown horse if you have brown hair.
Yeah. I really need to go disappear for a little bit. If you can entertain the crowd.
Entertainment dance. Could you pee for me when you're gone? Sure. Thank you. Okay, so I'm taking over now then. Anything else now that if I scroll back up to where Marcus is? I'm not sharing my screen. I'm gonna go down. Okay, sorry. Hello. Just so I can actually play in the documents. Okay, the camera's there. Where's the chat? The chat is over there. Okay, I'm not confused. Yes, AV, I do. Whoop, where's the cursor? There's the cursor. I do like that. The shapeshifter goes, oh no, I'm in danger, and then panics and shifts into a whale. I love it. I love it. Yeah. So we also came up, where am I? I'm here. I'm so confused with this setup. Do we have more questions we should discuss here? Because I have some shapeshifting questions over on further down this document and stuff. we figured out that they're related to humans. It's easy to change your appearance and species when you're younger. You can only turn into living things, not inanimate objects. You keep your own features, and that's what we have. I like it. Box is coming back. I have stalled long enough. I'm gonna go pee now. I wanted to be here so I could play with the screen.
Cool. Yes, and
Right.
obviously then I have no idea where you're at. What did you...
Nothing. I summarized what we've done so far,
Yeah.
and I said that we have more questions on my on my screen or further down the documents.
Yeah.
And Moon praised us for doing good.
Yes. Yeah, I also think that we've done really good. Eva is asking, living things include animals, reptiles, and aquatic mammals. I'm thinking all kinds of animals, including insects. Maybe. Do we want them to be able to turn into insects? That is creepy. But you know. But yeah, Moon also thinking all kinds. I don't want them to turn into arachnids, but okay. But yeah, there's somewhere has to be a limit.
Why did no one tell me I had smeared chocolate over half my face?
I am so sorry.
It's okay. I'm gonna steal this because you're not using it.
Okay then. Good luck with that. We got a question about whether you can turn in, like, what does animal include? What can you turn into?
Okay.
Mammals.
Fish. Whatever. I have the word ambidextrous, but that's not what I'm after.
Mammals, fish, reptiles, bugs,
Yeah.
insects,
Yes.
arachnids, just because.
Yeah. No, that's it. You can't turn into arachnids.
Okay.
Arachnids don't exist in this world. There are no spiders.
Okay. Was that a serious suggestion?
Yes. There are no
Okay.
spiders.
Okay. Cannot turn into arachnids.
Wow. Birds.
Birds. Amphibians.
Ambidextrous, yeah.
Not bacteria and viruses. No.
No.
I think that's too small.
And not plants.
Not plants, because I think that's the whole thing with plants don't have a mind, as far as we know.
Eva is bringing up a good question. Can one die because of what they shift into? Fish out of water, that sort of thing.
Plants.
Not spiders, put that to please. Thank you.
Welcome. I mean, I would assume.
I mean, I feel like you need to yeah, I mean, especially fish. If you're like, you have gills, you can't breathe air. You need to be in the water. That's it. If you do it on land, you're done for.
No.
But I do think you could turn into a penguin, like an Arctic penguin. Antarctic. You could turn into a polar bear in the desert. Like, you could do it. You could survive for a short period of time. You know?
Yeah, I'm thinking that, like, when you've shifted into something, you have all of their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Including, if you're a fish, you can't breathe air. You have to be in the water.
Yeah.
If you're a polar bear, you can be in the desert, but you're gonna die from
You're
overheating.
not gonna like it. No.
And that kind of thing.
Yeah. And you could also be a horse in the water, but you wouldn't be able to swim for very long.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that we've decided that arachnids don't exist.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
They can turn into they also they get that animal strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Yes. As a fish need to be in water.
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 However British that was.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Good question, Moon. I like how you're thinking that would be a recurring problem. I mean, unless they choose to change back, I feel like they or to something else. I feel like, I now go to sleep as a horse and I will wake up as a horse.
Yeah, since it didn't take any efforts to keep the form, if you fall asleep, that becomes problematic with the changing of your features, though, because if that takes effort, does that stay when you?
I mean, maybe it's more than like a 12-hour thing, or maybe it is a 12-hour thing. I go brush my teeth as a horse, and I like make sure that I have green hair. I'm mixing up metaphors here. And then I go to sleep, and then I wake up, and I still have green hair because I've slept for less than 12 hours. But I have to remind myself that I want to have green hair. No?
So that it's not a continuous effort, it's rather something you need to top up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Or it's something that as soon as you wake up, you need to, like, bring it back. You don't have it when you sleep.
Yeah.
Or maybe you have it when you sleep for the like permanent changing of the features, for example. If that needed to be like you need to do this for a month, maybe for like the first week you don't have it when you sleep, but you have to remind yourself to get it back. But then eventually it slowly becomes second nature.
Maybe. Yeah. To answer Moon's question, though, I feel like you sleep or you're unconscious in your new form.
Yeah.
We did not cover how often they can change. No. I will write it up in my list of questions.
Yes. What was I gonna write down?
You keep your shape. How often you need to top up.
Shifting doesn't require maintenance.
Yeah.
Until you choose to shift again. Yes, it did. Meaning you can sleep or be unconscious and still remain in the same form.
Yeah. What?
Dream shifting.
Meaning?
Or sleep shifting, like sleepwalking. If you're a sleepwalker, you walk in the. If you're a sleep shifter, you might shift while you're sleeping.
No.
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, I also took that to be like, oh, I tend to sleepwalk. I'm now a horse. You will find me in the pantry. Like.
I mean, that would probably also be a thing.
Yeah.
But I like that. Yeah.
Maybe.
It doesn't have to be a thing that like.
No, it could be a thing that happens, but not to my character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh no. Dream shifting. You have a scary dream and you turn into a big fierce animal and tear up your pillow. Like that.
Understand what that means?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What other questions did we have regarding shapeshifters? Can you check in your notes?
I have. Are shapeshifters base humans? Can they reproduce with other humans? Dealt with that.
Yeah.
Maybe they were originally humans touched by the gods. Dealt with that.
Yeah.
Vaguely. Does shifting have a cost? Does it take time or leave them vulnerable for a bit? Or something like that?
Yes.
Yes. Probably. I mean, it should at least... I don't know. I would like instantaneous shape-shifting. But, like, you have to will it. I don't know.
I mean, what I'm thinking is that we already know that keeping a feature that, we already know that shifting doesn't require maintenance. Once I've shifted into a horse, I'm a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Until I choose not to be in it again.
Mm-hmm.
I should slow down.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. What if there is the moment you shift?
Mm-hmm. A countdown starts. You can't shift again for another 3 hours. No?
That's not what I was thinking.
Okay.
But what I was thinking was that, just shifting once doesn't cost a lot.
Uh-huh.
But if you shift often or, you can, for example, I can shift from human to horse to bird to wolf to fish all within the span of 2 minutes or even 5 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
But for every time I do shift, shifting from the human to the horse, fine. Just a few seconds later, shifting from the horse to the bird, then that is twice as difficult or takes twice as much energy. It leaves you twice as exhausted. So exponentially, the more you shift before you've within a certain time frame, the more difficult it is, and eventually you have shifted into a fish, but you can't swim because
I also had a sort of follow-up question, not really, but is there a risk that you get stuck, that you lose yourself, and now you're a horse forever? Or that you are unable to shift, either you lose yourself and now you're just a horse and that's, that's the end of it, or that you are too exhausted to change out of the horse and now you have to be a horse for 5 days while your magic meter cools down and resets, and I don't know, I'm sure there's a game out there somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to say I don't think there should be a risk of losing yourself in the animal.
No. I just want to ask if
yeah. Because we've said that you retain your sentience and all that.
Right. Yeah.
But
that could be something that shapeshifter parents tell their kids, though. Maybe that's the whole thing of growing up. That's why the adults also change into fewer things. Because otherwise you scatter yourself. No? Okay. No.
Maybe. And because becoming a humanoid again also costs the same level of oomph or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm thinking any shifting, no matter in what direction, costs the same, sort of.
I just had a nice little connection between your character and my character. Because if it's really exhausting and really physically draining to change form for my characters, they're gonna need the rest. They're gonna need a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, you could only see in the dark, right? It's not that you had flashlights for eyes.
No.
Okay, never mind. I'm they're gonna clash so hard.
Cool. It will be exhausting after the confrontation or whatever that you're trying to resolve by shifting. You would need to take a really long nap. Yeah. I'm thinking something like that.
Yeah.
Physical exhausting. And you could train the shifting muscle, but it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah.
Shifters who forget to stay. Regarding this, this is a tangent, but I want to mention that there could probably be individual shapeshifters who have decided that I'm gonna be a dog forever.
Yeah.
That's just, I don't care to be human.
Yeah.
And then maybe
I
they
don't want to
would...
pay taxes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like having to be a horse for a lot longer than you intended because you exhausted yourself with frequent shifting. And the main risk is just getting stuck for a while as you exhaust yourself, but you don't get trapped halfway. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, and then you probably don't know, oh, I can shift 5 times a day, that's my limit. You probably don't know that. So it could very well happen in the story that, like, oh, I've now shifted 3 times today, I need to do it one more time, but I don't know if I'll make it out of it into myself again, my human form again.
Yeah, I'm imagining it's a lot like, I mean, like AV said that it's sort of a muscle. It's like if you have, if you're well trained, you can run 5 kilometers and basically you can do that.
Yes.
I'm not very well trained. I cannot run 5 kilometers.
No.
When I have run 200 meters, I need to stop.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of that. If you have a well-trained shifting muscle, then you can do it more rapidly and more often. But someone who hasn't,
who doesn't do it a lot.
Yeah. Who hasn't been exercising,
I like it.
They have more, a limit.
Yeah. I like it.
Shifting, they can shift.
It could also be that shifting quickly takes more effort, but if you do it slow and carefully, it's not as physically exerting.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like a sprint or a walk.
Yeah.
You get to the same place, but
exactly.
You do it faster, but are exhausted or slower, and
I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so they can shift at a moment's notice.
Yeah. Well, they can, but that's more draining.
Yes. Let's see. So there. How do I put this? The point is that there is no time limit to how often you can. There's no
max. There's no cap to how much you can do it.
There is no limit. Theoretically, no limit to how often they can shift, but those with less practice, more exhaust.
XHAUSTD.
Exhausted.
Yes.
Thank you.
And need more rest.
Yeah.
Should I take over, Twee?
No, it's okay. I'm just we talked a lot and I didn't make notes.
Yeah.
So
don't look at the chat right now.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to avoid it. Is there a no limit of how often they can shift, but those with less practice get more exhausted and need more rest if doing it quickly or frequently. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the difference.
Yeah. So if a shifter is I'm gonna say a dog, it's not a choice of a shifter, it's a choice of the human that can shift. I'm not sure I understand this.
Me neither.
Yeah. Try again, maybe?
Are you brain fogging a bit?
A little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
It could also be that shifting quickly takes more effort, but if you do it slow and carefully, yeah, right.
Yeah. I put that in as an under thing.
And then my question is, like, how quick is the shifting process? Because I've been
Is it like that?
Yeah, I've just been thinking that it's yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Could you buy yourself time by like, okay, tomorrow morning I need to be a horse. I will start shifting now and I'll shift through my sleep and I'll wake up fully a horse. Probably not.
I don't know, because then I think it would be easier if it was an instantaneous thing, and the shifting quickly is rather shifting many times.
Yeah, between many different. And I feel like it should also be more straining. Sorry, I'll let you start. Cool. I feel like it's like if I throughout this day shift between horse and human, horse and human, horse and human, horse and human, sure, it's tiring. But if I change between horse and human, bird and whale and cat and dog and elephant, that should be more strenuous because then you're putting on more forms. Or is it the shifting itself?
I mean, I like the idea of that. That goes back to, like, if you have an affinity for horses, then that doesn't take a lot. If you have an affinity for horses, birds, and pigs, you can go between those in a day relatively easy. But if you in between there need to put in a whale, then that is more taxing because it's the whale muscle is one that you're not as you haven't trained as much as the other ones. I also like this.
And that's how the MC has friends in high places. Yeah, my great uncle, who is the royal cat, ring a bell? Yeah, Sir Whiskerbottom. Whiskerbottom. Don't let me name cats.
Okay.
Steve.
Yeah.
Should we write up that the thing you said about the forms that you're more comfortable with and whale muscles? Yeah. And with that, again, if you only have like 3 or 4 that you're comfortable with, that you're able to do faster and easier, and suddenly you need to be a bird, that's going to take more out of you.
Yeah.
We're really figuring out shapeshifters. I'll give us that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a shifter to choose to not be human sounds like a human thought to me. I don't want to pay taxes for spoiled cat. Yeah, I mean, that is the sentient part, not the instinct part.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Timescale for shifting, I was thinking it usually takes like a minute, but if you're in danger, you can shift in a second.
Yeah.
But I can also get behind the amount of shifts being the exhausting factor.
I mean, I think both could work. Like, that a second would be fast and a minute would be long, or it's just exhausting to do it. In general, and it's instantaneous. Did we say that you can't get stuck like halfway? Because we talked about werewolves before.
Yeah.
And like they shift from human to wolf and back.
Yeah.
And I assume there's a part where you're like, oh, I have paws now, but I still have a human face.
Yeah.
What about that?
I'm thinking the shifting can't be interrupted like that.
No.
No matter if it takes, because I could get behind it being like, I don't know, maybe not a full minute, but like normally a shifting takes a couple of seconds. It can be done in like tenth of a second if you're good,
Mm.
if you're really good or in a really big state of panic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also like how at ease do you have to be? How, like, could you be running away from danger and be like, I'd be running a heck of a ton faster if I was a horse, and then shift into a horse mid-run? Or do you need to be like, no, I am collected and I am calm and I am a horse, and then you start?
I'm thinking it's just a like you can do it mid run.
More effective.
More effective, easier, and yeah, I think it's just the easier way to do it.
Yeah. And there is no limit that you can't do it in front of people. I mean, humans are not going to like that you turn into a horse or something, but like it's not like you have to do it in secret in a dark room.
No. I mean, it's a natural thing for them.
No. Just checking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. More questions that I have in my documents?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Does shifting have a cost? Takes time, leaves them vulnerable. Well, it physically exhausts them.
Yeah.
We decided that, right? Yeah. Shapeshifters have one or more forms that they particularly like or are inclined to have an easier time with.
Yeah.
Does shifting affect their mind? Does it keep their minds intact? Yes.
Yeah.
How do they communicate?
Yes.
We reached that fun point.
We have reached communication.
Communicating.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, in a way, I'm apparently a sucker for talking animals. Gustav. Donkey. But, I mean, obviously, if they want to blend in, they're not going to go, I'm going to blend in and try to be a horse now. I'm not going to go, oh, yeah, so did you catch the sport on TV yesterday? You know. Also, now we apparently both have sports and TVs in this world.
Cool.
Go, team, go. You know. But I also don't know if I mean, how biologically correct do you want to be? Because like there are certain sounds that certain animals can't make.
Yeah.
Vocal cords and tongue placement and, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Animals in general cannot speak the way humans do.
No. But I since they retain their mind, I'm just thinking the scene with the horse I'm going to write. The main character, her friend is a horse. Facial expressions. I mean, it's not going to be as expression-y, that's not a word, as a human face might be.
At least not to humans.
Exactly.
Maybe shapeshifters can.
Exactly, yeah. But like, look over there, like indicating with the head or like stuff like that, I think. But I saw that Moon put telepathy. Is it possible for shapeshifters to then always communicate telepathically, or is it just when one or more of them are in animal form?
I would say
also
always.
Do want to do telepathy in general.
I would say if we wanted to do telepathy, I want to say that is potentially always their default.
Mm-hmm. Instead of talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which potentially means that some shapeshifters who haven't had contact with humans can't speak as humans because they haven't learned.
Interesting. Yeah. Question though then, because if we do telepathy, I want to make it very clear. No, but like I want it to be like, okay, I'm now telepathically going, Marcus, and you hear me and you can choose to respond. I don't want to be able to read your mind.
No, telepathy and mind reading are two different.
Yeah. I want to be very
in this scenario. I would say that that would be a I can send you thoughts. You can send me thoughts, but you can't read my mind if I don't like. There's a thinking and
projecting.
Are two different things.
Yeah. No, I could do telepathy. And then I'm thinking what that means for my character. She has a human mom who can do telepathy.
Yeah.
So she's obviously learned to talk, obviously, but yeah. And I also assume that her friend hangs out and also knows, like...
I mean, I would assume that, like, everyone who hangs out with the mom can speak.
I mean, it's the polite thing to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I imagine it would be a case of like, yes, we are sitting in a room. We have a human here.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna speak openly because we want to include them.
Yeah.
But also, all of a sudden, sort of forgetting that and you and I started to telepathically.
Yeah.
Like that, and yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, let's at least for now we say telepathy.
Yes.
They
You're singing too now. Yay.
Yes. What have people been saying in the chat?
Moon said that telepathy without the shifters, but also able to talk horse language to the horses. I like that. Like you can't communicate with the animals in their language unless you're in the same form.
Yeah, because I think I think like the language of animals is, I mean, that is body language and the sounds that they make, and like you couldn't make that as a human.
No, true.
Just like you couldn't speak as an animal.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm thinking horse again, just to go with the same example. I am now in my horse shape. There are horses around me. Is it more, like you say, body language and horses don't purr, but like that kind of, those kinds of that kind of speaking? Or is it also that I can telepathically speak with horses?
Not if you can't telepathically speak with humans.
Okay.
Then, if you wanted to be telepathic, then you had to assume that the humans or the horses are also sentient enough to understand words and stuff.
Okay.
I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can move on from that.
Yeah.
I had a thought that I didn't finish, but it's fine.
Cool. Perhaps have to touch. Yeah, I was wondering
how the communication would work. Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to do the chat first, so we don't get even further behind what people are saying. All the thoughts in one's own head are enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. No reading minds.
Yeah. No, I agree. 100%.
Or talisman or something. Yeah. Like an unheard language. Those who know it. That's a different, like, those who don't hear nothing or they hear water or wind. That would be a different way of communicating.
Yeah. Would be cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I also want to invent a language. Yeah. This lighting is great.
Markus being wholesome, thinking of people accidentally communicating telepathically, but people could be sneaky and underhanded too.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they could if you want to be like that.
Yeah.
And this is a somewhat philosophical question of how much of animal language is learned and how much is instinct. And I am thinking that it is better to not go into that and just assume that if you turn into a horse, you are able to
have all the horse
with
abilities.
Horses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would, just to make it easy and to not have to. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. To make, like I said, at least to make it easy. If we decide along the way that no, we'd rather have it be this or that, we can change it. But for right now, I don't want to add in too many world building things.
Yeah.
We've already been talking shapeshifters for 2.5 hours soon.
Yes.
So the animal kind of communication, body language, snorts, stomps, etc. Yeah.
Maybe parrots.
Carrots.
Carrots. talk and understand each other more human-like.
But that's also a question, though. Parrots, do they just repeat what we say, or do they actually understand it?
No, but if you are a parrot, shapeshift. If you've shapeshifted into a parrot, and you're talking to another shapeshifter who turned into a parrot,
yeah,
can you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what I wanted to ask about the telepathy is
touching or
probably not a talisman, because why would you need a talisman to be able to communicate? But if it's a natural communication,
eye contact,
yeah, is it like
proximity?
Yeah, and most of all, I think partially how far apart can you be and still communicate, but also can I project my thoughts to you, or am I projecting them to everyone around, like we are with our voices?
I would like for it to be projected at a specific person, or I can choose rather. Like, say I'm in a room and there are humans around, and we are 4 shapeshifters in here, and we're looking for a way out, sort of thing.
I mean, humans still can't hear you.
No, but I wasn't done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And we're like, oh, when I get out and I found that door over there is unlocked. We just need to get to it, sort of. I want to be able to, at all 3 of you at the same time, telepathically go, hey, the door's unlocked.
Yeah.
Rather than to go, Marcus, the door's unlocked. Moon, the door's unlocked. You know?
Yeah.
And then it can't be touch and it can't be sight. Because then I have to lock eyes with you and say, hey, Marcus, and then hey, Moon, and then so on. So I think you should be able to choose. And that comes naturally. Like, you know, right now I know that I'm speaking just to you, and right now I know that I'm speaking to all of us. All of you. Everyone. But I feel like you should have to do it with proximity. I feel like when the main character and her friend is off on their quest, she can't, or they can't, telepathically talk to their friends back home.
No. And what Moon was just saying, that if they had to be touching, or at least had to be pretty close, that could create fun tensions. But when Lid and Tev are used to being able to talk in front of humans while traveling, but if they get separated, they can't.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, I like the touching or the eye contact, which then, I mean, if you're blindfolded or sleeping then would be bad, because then you can't wake someone up telepathically if you don't have eye contact.
No.
But the touching I do like, but it's very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Or like maybe not in your day-to-day life, but like, oh, we're on the run now, and I was captured and you were not. I guess I'll just mime what I need then.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of in terms of evolution. What is the most useful? Is it more useful to? Because I agree with you that I want them to not. At least not only I have to project only to you.
Yeah.
They need to be able to bring a like
larger group of people in.
Yeah. And I'm thinking evolution, you need to be able to shout a warning.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the question is, yeah.
I mean, Eva's bringing up a thing that I also thought of. If it's touching, talismans could use hair or teeth. I was thinking that too. Third from the bottom. With hair, because I have a thing for teeth. No. But hair, however, hair is dead. Well, anything you chop off of a person is dead.
Yeah.
I suppose. But like, you know, I carry a braid of hair of the people I'm closest to. Touching that means that I can project to them, even if we're further apart. That is me touching them. Like, if it's touch-based, that would be enough. Are you following it, or did you turn out again?
No, I think I'm following.
Yeah.
But is it, like, how far does that projection go?
I didn't figure that through.
Okay.
Figure that out and get that far. But then also, like, if you have a braid of hair, can you pick out, oh yes, this is Tev's hair. Okay, Tev. You know, I'm gonna project to him, or is it like everyone in the braid? That's also a question in that case. We skipped some other comments, but
could be a way to stumble onto other shifter before they realize it too, talking to themselves or looking for the other. Yeah.
But then they would be talking openly.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking if I'm a shifter and you're a shifter, Marcus, and we're out talking telepathically, we're out walking, we would specifically talk to each other.
I mean, we still haven't decided if we can choose to talk to one person or if it's a projection to everyone.
No. I want them to be able to choose, but...
AV saying could be compared to whispering, talking, or shouting, but telepathically. And Lily saying that if you carry a bag of your husband's toenail clippings, I can communicate with him even from a distance. Sure.
I suppose.
Yeah.
To each their own. You do you.
Okay, but they can whisper. They can whisper, talk to only one person, or speak.
How's it going?
Great. Speak. Project to everyone within a certain distance.
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't really work with touch.
No.
Because then you have to be able to touch everyone, unless the only way to, like, if I want to talk to only you, we have to be touching.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to be talking to everyone.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that works.
Yeah?
That works.
If they are touching that person, yes. Also works with more people, I assume. If I'm holding your hand and Moon's hand, I can talk to both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Do Moon and I then need to hold hands, or can we talk through you? I feel like we should also have to touch.
Yeah. Only the person that you yourself is touching.
Yeah. I like that though, because then not Moon, Lid and Tev will be walking around speaking telepathically most of the time, and then it works that another shapeshifter might overhear them.
Yeah.
But if they touch each other, they can talk. They can whisper. Just the two of them. I like that. Yeah, I really like that.
Cool.
Nail clipping telephone. Great. I'm glad we invented that now. Thanks, Moon. Could photos do the same things if photos exist? I don't think photos do exist. We haven't actually decided how advanced the world is in terms of those things.
We have not. That was going to be a coming question.
Yeah.
But I think we can, for now at least, leave the communication like this.
Yeah.
They can talk to one or more people only if they're touching them.
Yeah.
If they're not touching anyone, they can project to everyone. Within a certain distance. We can figure out the exact distance later.
Question. Does it matter what part of them is touching? Because I imagine it's skin contact. Like if I wear a glove and I touch you, I can't talk to you. I would assume. But like, does it have to be my hands, or could I put my nose on your skin, or my pinky toe?
I'm thinking skin to skin.
Skin to skin.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm gonna go around putting my nose on people now.
Cool.
I have interests.
Okay. Yeah, and they are also able to, in human form, if they have learned to speak, they can speak.
Yes.
They can speak in human form if they have learned it, but potentially don't have their own human language.
Yeah.
They speak the language of whatever human taught them, sort of.
Yeah. And I want my MC's mom to not be the only human who lives with them, because then it's very much dependent on her. But that might also mean more limited vocabulary and stuff. I mean, if you're a human around humans all the time, maybe you learn a bunch of new words. But if you're not around human. I don't know.
I'm thinking.
Or they speak a bit more like oldenly. No, but okay. I'm thinking if humans and shifters in general have been separated for a couple hundred years. Is that what we said?
Yeah, something like that.
And then obviously the MC's one of her moms is a human, and there are other people too, but they probably come there in the last 200 years.
Mm-hmm.
Some yesterday, maybe some 200 years ago, and they taught people,
Mm-hmm.
And now the new people teach people. But I mean, if I met my great grandparents, we wouldn't speak the same.
No.
And I'm thinking, like, the human language might have evolved, gotten new words.
Yeah, I mean, they probably they probably have their own dialect of the human language. And in this, I am just now assuming that the human world, the human continent, is that only has one language.
To make it, again, to not overcomplicate things. Yeah.
And the shapeshifters then have their own dialect of that language that is based on whatever humans have shown up in their world.
Yeah.
And maybe that's maybe a different thing, but just the thought that like maybe most of the humans, like there is one tribe of shapeshifters that has a lot of humans in them.
Yeah.
And in them, yes.
Ooh, back to sex again. Yeah.
And therefore they like maybe often speak spoken language, whereas there's another tribe that doesn't have any humans and they anyway,
cool. But my follow-up question is still like, because there are going to be some words. I mean, if we take our language, our world, we come up with slangs for things, and we invent new things, and those inventions need new words and stuff. Obviously, someone who's never encountered those inventions and stuff won't know those words. But is it also, do the shapeshifters who speak the human language also speak an older version of it? Is it more formal? Is it
not necessarily?
No. Okay. No. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Should we go through the chat and then jump into the next questions that we have over here?
Yeah. Okay. I think Eva asked. Let's see.
Interesting question.
Photos exist. Suddenly thinking larger questions about level of technology in this world. That is a question I have as well, but I think maybe, we're definitely going to be talking about that because we need to know.
Yes.
My brain is a mess. That's okay. I love idea sessions. I'm truly sorry if I get off base. Thanks for letting me play. Of course, I really like the more ideas you guys shout out. Obviously, we're not going to use all of them, and some of them will work better than others. But I love hearing them. Yeah. So keep coming at us with ideas.
I mean, the more things that's kind of why I wanted to do this. We wanted to get more ideas than the two of us could come up with.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, if you know threw out photographs, and we're like, oh yeah, I hadn't actually thought of if cameras exist or not.
Yeah.
That like it will make the world maybe not more immersive, but more thought out, or at least we've considered photos. Yes, no, okay. Yeah. Can a shifter shift into another human? Do they gain that specific human's intelligence?
This question would have been more difficult to answer, but we decided earlier on that shifters and humans are in some way related, didn't we?
Yeah.
Am I making that up?
No, they are
related to
humans. Somehow they diverged at some point in history.
Yeah. Which means that yes, humans are technically sort of another species, but they are a related species, and therefore you cannot turn into another human, because I don't want them to be able to turn into other humans, because that would just be weird and strange. And how do you retain your sentience when you have another person's sentience as well?
That's a fanfic.
Yes.
Or a spin-off. I agree. I don't want them to be able to turn different breathing. I agree. I don't want them to be able to turn into other humans. However, since I am able to change my physical appearance, I could make myself look entirely like Markus.
Yes.
But I will still have my sentience and my knowledge and my thoughts.
Yeah.
And just scare the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Yay!
Don't do that.
I won't.
Yes. They have their own local dialect.
Because languages evolve in parallel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm thinking the difference between Stockholm Swedish and Finnish Swedish. Sorry, I like how I got offended about what do you mean Stockholm Swedish? But I don't like Stockholm Swedish.
Stockholm Swedish is a dialect, no matter what the people in Stockholm think.
Yep, and we don't like it. Oops.
But yes, both understand each other with some melody difference and a handful of words that's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, also depending on. Sorry, you don't have the map open, do you?
I do, but I'm not sharing it.
Yeah, doesn't matter. We haven't decided if there are humans. We talked about potential tribes who live in or nomadic tribes living in or near the Inferno Valley.
Yeah.
But we haven't actually decided if any humans live north of the first mountain range, and the world itself below that, the south of that, isn't huge. But there might even be dialectal differences on human land.
We have decided that people live north of there.
Oh, we have.
That's where the...
Oh, right, yes. Yeah. Yes, we have.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
But yes, there will be dialects within the human country as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yep.
Lyd would have learned whatever formal or royal dialect her mom speaks, which sounds sophisticated or even pretentious when she talks to peasants.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
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 Are you putting that somewhere? Should I put that somewhere?
You put that somewhere.
Okay. I'm just scrolling.
Yes.
Is that me? That's not me.
Huh?
No, I'm scrolling. It's fine.
Okay, cool. It doesn't have to be tech to have an image of someone. True. World building is intense. I love it even more when it's not me doing it. In some ways, it's a lot easier to just throw ideas out there, right? Because you guys don't have to be the ones to like make this make sense. That's on us. So we're doing the like potentially less fun part. I still think it's fun, but yeah. I like that limit you can change it in bit. Yes. That's a good point, Moon. Yeah, about it could both make people trust Lyd and make them suspicious of her.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't give me nightmare ideas.
No, Markus's brain doesn't need any help coming up with those. So there are, I don't know what his brain does and how it's so active, but no. I'm glad you have. Oh, sorry, Eva. Yes, I have zero attachment to these ideas. I was like, well, I like these ideas, so you meant that we could take them and run with them. Yes, I should be less defensive.
Maybe.
What
is our next question?
Yes, I scroll back down again then.
Yes.
That's a scrolling sound.
Cool.
Why am I so out of frame? There we go.
In the meantime, yeah. Amy's saying, I'm not just glad I don't have to be the one to decide which ideas stay in or not. All are valid, but not everyone will fit into the story. Which is, yeah.
And I mean, we might also realize once, like either we collectively or the two of us or something, might realize when we start writing that, wait, we said that they both have wings and red feet. I don't know, but like two ideas that go against each other because ducks are not a thing apparently.
Yeah.
Next question we have, two forms, classic werewolf style, transform between one thing and another. Yes, that was that they couldn't go halfway.
Yeah.
Maybe they can shapeshift into many things when they're younger. The older they get, they just shift into their preferred forms.
Yeah.
that works for Lid. She's getting older and honing in on her favorites, sort of. Only a few forms downloaded at once. Needs a ritual to change that out. We haven't talked about that. We've touched on it, but we haven't decided.
Yeah, but I feel like
the muscle flexing.
Yeah. Some people have a more talent and can keep more shifting in their minds at once.
Yeah.
And other people don't. But I think no ritual is needed.
No.
Did we decide, like, do you have to touch them or
to what? To change?
To be able to change into them.
We said that you have to conceptually understand what a horse is to turn into a horse. You have to have seen it. You can't just make up an octopus, rock, fox, snake, boulder thing.
And I feel like touching would make sense, because that way, like, the magic that helps you shift, like, basically you touch the horse, you get, like, even if you personally don't understand the horse,
your magic does,
and your magic can turn that into a horse that's you.
Yeah, I like that. So I need to touch the horse to be able to turn into a horse.
Yeah.
Does this mean that the shapeshifters, because Moon said before that they have a I don't know if the word used was respect, but like they care about animals.
Yeah.
Do they keep a lot of animals around, so you as a kid can go around like, oh, I've touched a pig, I've touched a duck, I've touched a horse, I've touched a bird? Or
no, I think it's more of a like, they have some animals around, but I could imagine it also being a sort of like, if you can't get close enough to a wolf to touch it, then you don't deserve to turn into it, like that sort of thing.
So maybe we don't have that many people turning into whales then.
Maybe, unless, like, that's the thing. Like, people born before a certain year can all turn into whales because a whale washed up on shore once.
And they're like, yes, touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's the generational shift.
Yeah.
Maybe we have the whale generation thing. Like, are you a whale or are you a chicken?
Yes.
Yeah.
They have to touch the thing they
want to be able to turn into.
Want to be able to turn into. Is touching once enough? Because I see people discussing this in the comments here. Let's see, whatever. Up there, they have to know the animal they're shifting into. Yeah, that's what we talked about. The some shifter communities treat shifting as something taboo. Perhaps animal sightings are intentional lesser for some groups of people to ensure they can't shift. Yeah, if they have a internal, like, caste system, which I don't think we wanted them to have, because we wanted them to be like, everyone contributes to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sort of. Everyone contributes in the way they can.
Yeah. To learn how to shift, most have to touch, but the more skilled shifters can do it by looking / understanding the concept. Maybe that's the thing. Like, if you have,
maybe.
if you learn enough about, like, either you touch them or you study and know exactly how fox works. You've never touched one, but you understand it.
Yeah, I mean, also what we could do with that is also like, okay, I have touched a hen, and I have touched a sparrow. Neither of which are predators, but like I understand the bird form. I could learn to turn into a crow, even though I've never seen or touched a crow.
Yeah,
because I know birds, maybe more than just the two, but like, that could be something too.
Yeah,
but more so like, then you have to hone in on like birds. It's not like, oh yeah, I've touched a dog and I've touched a horse. I can turn into an elephant.
Yeah,
because that's a bit different.
Yes.
Yeah, but I like that the most. Well, you were in the middle of writing, first of all.
Yeah,
touching once or more times.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want them to have to touch in the moment.
No, but like,
No.
is it? I have touched a horse once. Now I can turn, or I have to because I didn't do. Blah, blah, blah.
UK.
Yes. Like, is it touching a horse? Now I can turn into a horse, and I can forever turn into a horse unless I forget how to. Or is it? I need to spend time with the horse. I need to touch it many times, and eventually I'll learn how to shift.
I mean, if the shifting itself, like, okay, now once I know how to be a horse, I can now shift into a horse like that. Maybe it's too much to also ask that you instantaneously know how to turn into a horse the first time you touch one.
Potentially.
Maybe there needs to be more, like, either touch them more times, or like I need to touch and understand, or like.
But then, how do you turn into, like, how do you turn into a whale?
True.
You might not have time to like hang out and cuddle the whale.
Okay. Yeah.
I think learning immediately is acceptable.
Okay. It's a magical world.
Yeah.
World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touching once is enough, and then you can turn
Whenever.
Yeah. Unless you forget.
Yeah. Or are too exhausted.
Yeah.
I mean, that was also the thing.
Yeah.
But I do like Amy's idea that you could do it by just looking and understanding the concept and like studying them.
Yeah.
But that is rare.
Yeah.
That is an acquired skill.
In rare
circumstances.
Under rare, no. Some very few shifters.
Yes.
Have been able to learn to shift by studying and understanding an animal instead of touching it.
Yeah. How is that spelling going?
It's going great.
I love how you spell touching.
Yeah. Toughing. Fine. Gonna be that way.
Could you
hello, Tina.
Oh, hello. Hi.
Welcome. We are world building shapeshifters.
Yes, we are. I'm further back in the comments, but hello.
Yeah, it jumped down.
Yeah. Amy's saying, could you touch another shifter in wolf form and learn to shift to a wolf? I want to say no.
Yeah.
I want to say it has to be the real deal.
Yeah.
A real wolf.
Yes.
Yeah. Oops.
Oral and written tales from Graham Shifter about the ship voyages with octopus and whale and birds that fly over the sea.
Mm-hmm. But then it's more like conceptualizing a whale. Yeah. A bit of nurture coming into play, but there's strong nature elements. Yeah. Connection built up. Maybe. I had to go pee again. Drinking too much water.
No such thing. Well.
But,
yeah. Yes, I mean, I think that the point is that you have to touch the animal, or if you are exceptionally talented and or exceptionally good at conceptualizing things, you can just learn. But maybe that's more of a like, 50 years ago we had someone who knew how to do this, but no one has managed it in a long time. I'm thinking. Less exhausted, more experienced the first time you sleep for a day. Yeah, so the more times you've turned into something, the less exhausting it is. And that's maybe a good point, actually, that you, like, the first time you turn into something, that does take a lot out of you. I mean, that tracks perfectly with the more I've turned into this animal, the easier it is. The first time, maybe it is very, very difficult.
I came out in the middle of this.
Yeah.
It's difficult to turn into an animal the first time.
Yeah,
It's
because
so
we already said that the more you've turned into something, the easier it is.
Yeah.
Maybe the first few times you turn into it, that is actually difficult.
Yeah.
The first, like Eva said, the first time you sleep for a day, the second a few hours, etc. And eventually it's easy.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. The first time. Yeah.
Yeah. Should I move on to the rest of the questions I have?
Yeah, let's do that. Oh.
No. No. No.
I mean, I do want to say no.
Yeah.
For the same reason that they can't shift into humans, because elementals are sentient.
Yeah. So now we're saying that animals aren't, but also like.
I mean, in this.
There's also magic at play. I mean, elementals have elemental magic. That could be reason enough. I know what I mean. It makes sense. No, the answer is no. They cannot turn into elementals.
Yeah, cool.
But the thing of like only a few downloaded forms is not a thing then. But they have ones that they're more comfortable with.
Yeah, and if you practice more, you can have more of them. Like, yeah. There's not a hard limit.
No. Do they turn into realistic animals or unrealistic ones with like rainbow and glitter? And we said it's related to how you look in your human form. Right?
Yeah.
And that you couldn't mess up. You can't end up like a horse with fox teeth.
No.
No?
One question is that the permanent changes they can make, can that be, I want to permanently have rainbow hair?
Probably.
Yeah. So that can be unnatural in some way.
Yes. But it's probably like, I will change the color of my hair, not I will grow a foot out of the top of my head.
Yeah, no. But then the question is how, because I would sort of like to limit that to, it has to be something that could conceivably have happened naturally. It can't be rainbow hair because hair can't be rainbow naturally. But if you're blonde, you can turn your
hair black.
Your hair black, for example.
Yeah. So it's still within the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Like genetic possibility.
Yeah.
But not necessarily your own genetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Shifting, they can change only within a natural range, not rainbow hair, etc.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to actually get into this, but I do want to acknowledge that we are creating, like, what if you are born disabled in some way?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Can you heal yourself? And I don't want to get into it, but it is a thing that we should maybe think about and just acknowledge.
Yeah.
And at some point figure out what exactly can the permanent changes be. But for right now, I just wanted to mention that and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were comments happening.
Gaggle of shifters. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe it's easy to do, but very hard on the body and mind. That way it's down to skill or ability, but more instinct and training.
It's not down to skill.
It's not down to skill or ability, but more instinct and training the shifting muscle. Yeah.
I also gave Moon nightmare fuel. Very sorry.
Oh, oh, the horse with
Yeah.
the fox teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
They cannot shift into another human, so they cannot change their human parts.
I
Is my
disagree.
take.
I disagree. I mean, sorry. I just feel like since we said that I could grow a new nose or I could change my hair color, I can also choose to remove my breasts or enlarge them. I feel like they should be able to do that.
Yeah, but the question is, I said we weren't going to get into
Yeah.
this, but the question I'm having is rather, okay, I
lost a leg. Can I regrow it?
Partially that, or I was born without legs. My body has never had legs. Can I still grow them? That kind of thing.
Yeah. Which we're not going to get into.
No. I love how many times parts are coming up in this chat.
Well,
yes.
parts.
Yes. Moving on.
Yeah.
What's the next question?
Does it affect size and mass?
No.
You get the new size and mass.
Yeah.
Like, you're a horse with the size and mass of a horse.
Yeah.
How often can you change forms? And can you go straight from animal to animal, or do you have to be human in between?
We said that you can change forms whenever, but it gets more exhausting if you do it frequently.
Yeah.
And you might get stuck before you can regain the energy to shift again.
Yeah.
I do want to say that you can shift between any animal.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, yes, the humanoid form is in some way the main, like your default form, but it's just as natural for you to be one of the animals you can shift into.
Yeah. I have a question that we haven't written up, but that I thought of now. Because we've been talking about how I'm going to turn into a horse. I will retain some of my own features as a horse. But there are different breeds of horses. There are different breeds of dog and stuff like that. How limited is that? Like, if can I be a poodle 1 minute and a Labrador the next? Or do you only have one kind of horse and one kind of dog and one kind of fish? Am I complicating it? I mean, in a way, if you were running away from someone and you turn into a poodle and you keep running away and they somehow discover that, oh, but that poodle is the person I'm after, and then you change into a Labrador, then they'll be looking for a poodle. Or is that too much? We can skip that. It's fine.
Yeah, let's
skip that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can shift between animal and animal, don't have to be human in between.
Yeah.
Yes. Then we are technically out of all the questions I've written down. But I do have the superstition part. Superstitions that humans have about shapeshifters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we do that or should we wait with that? What is that noise?
I don't know, maybe a bird?
Maybe. It's not my computer. Okay.
I'm thinking maybe we table that and maybe we cap the stream here.
Sure. We've been going for 3 hours.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't I potentially feel like I could do more, but I feel like we have pretty much finished what I feel like we need to do now for shifters.
We could.
We could go on and talk about which elemental lives where and stuff. That might not be a difficult. I just don't want to get into another
tangent.
Big thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've already started. If you pull up the map, we did already start. We started numbering things yesterday.
Yeah.
So we have already marked up some of the places. Hello. That the shifter or the elementals live.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a quick decision.
Yeah.
I say that it's gonna come back and haunt me, isn't it?
Potentially.
I mean, Moon, to be fair, I wasn't intending for Lid to ever turn into a horse. I'm intending for Tev to turn into a horse.
Cool.
Yes. I can see that. Okay, I can see the numbers. Great. Could we mark it with color or something?
No, it doesn't have color.
But I'm thinking if you screen grab it and put it into paint, and then you could put a blue dot and a green dot and a purple dot.
Yeah.
I'm just complicating things, aren't I?
Okay, I will do that. Talk amongst yourself for a bit.
Blah, 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 blah,
Talking.
Oh, talking, not noising.
No.
Yes. Stuff. Elementals and maps and stuff, and I'm very large on the screen now. Hello. Yes. Inferno Valley.
People in the chat talking.
Yeah, they're talking about Eva's mentioning the horse in the tree. That was a dream. It was a nightmare, not something I wanted to incorporate into the story. How's it going?
Yeah, I got it. I just need to share it.
This is the sharing dance. There we go.
Yes.
So, Inferno Valley. No, they go to the mountain first. Well, there's the water part first. The other first. AV.
What?
No. AV is asking if Lid will eventually ride her friend. And I don't know if that was meant to be read that way. But...
Cool.
No. How's it going?
I don't... What is it doing?
It's frozen.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's fine. It was on the wrong screen. Okay, we wanted colors.
Yes.
That's a color.
Yeah, now we're talking about the shifters and their genders. I was wondering about shifters and genders back when peacocks were mentioned. Would a female shifter only be able to turn into a peahen? Or Eva suggested that all the shifters are non-binary. And that is an interesting topic that we should...
I mean, that spontaneous thought.
Mm-hmm.
What if they get to choose?
Yeah.
Like, when they go through puberty, they go through the puberty that, like, they're sort of genderless as children.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they go through puberty, they do that as whatever gender they're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't help gender fluid people, for example, but like...
Yeah.
Maybe wait with that one.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We're doing the section in the map now.
Yes.
So water is first, but it's for the plot that we know. Water is first.
Yeah.
And the water is between the islands and roughly there. Cool. So is that pink?
Yes.
I'm going to write this up in the document somewhere. Map. Pink is water elementals. Right? And then the top left mountain is the metal one.
Maybe. We had a thought about that.
Yes. What was the thought? The metal should be up on the other side.
We were wondering if our two main characters should do metal together, because that's in caves where my characters
has
being
a
able
strong...
to see in the dark.
Yeah, but then maybe they should do the water together too, because mine has advantages there. Being very dark. Hello, that's not better at all.
I don't know. For now, I'm gonna put a blue one here.
Should I name the blue one or
Same metal
question mark?
Question mark, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Inferno Valley, which is everyone's favorite place where we all like to hang out. Elementals. Where is green plants?
I just figured green is Inferno Valley.
Oh,
we've already decided that 3 of them live there.
Yes, Inferno Valley. So we have plants, fire, and ground. And then the mountain with the dragon that doesn't actually have a dragon was going to be one, right?
Potentially.
Yeah. And it kind of makes sense for air to be high up, maybe.
We were talking about electricity being at the top of a mountain as well.
Yes, we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's air and electricity left.
Yeah. AV saying electricity on the second mountain. We have 3 mountains, but maybe electricity up there. I mean, orange is electricity.
Sure. Yeah. And then the last one. Then I can't spell electricity apparently. No, I can. It just doesn't like it. Electricity. I spelled it right. No, I didn't. Okay, fine. Okay, and then we need air.
Yeah.
Which we have a mountain remaining.
We
or
do.
Is air at the very bottom of the whole?
Down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a thought.
Wind in the bay. Yeah.
Wind in the bay. I had a thought.
Mm-hmm.
What if air doesn't have a territory?
It would just sneak up on you when you least expect it.
Sort of.
Yeah.
The air elementals live everywhere, and the trial can happen anywhere at any time.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't had anything in the icy place. Do we have an icy place? Oh yeah, that's the very top bit. Right.
On the top.
Yeah.
Depending on, also maybe it should be down here somewhere, because why are there no elementals here?
Yeah.
In a way. But
yeah, because I have multiple thoughts. One of the thoughts is like maybe the air elementals aren't as feared by humans. Maybe
are the elementals feared?
Huh?
Are the elementals feared?
Right. No, never mind. But maybe like the elementals, maybe they have what are they called? Wind turbines. I was going to say wind chimes. Wind turbines. And so the elementals help power the I don't know. I don't know. It could also be like the spots we've now marked out, or you've marked out.
Mm.
It could be like, oh, here's where you're most likely to run into the metal elementals, for example. But it could happen elsewhere. No, because we won't have territories. Never mind.
I don't know. Chat, what do you think? Do you think the air...
Like storm chasing for the air trial.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, that could be one of the like part of the wind trial or air trial is, first of all, find the place.
That's why it takes 6 months.
Yeah. Oh, I think our internet broke.
Oh no. Really?
Connection is unstable.
Okay.
Are we still here for you guys? I think we are, but it's warning me. That removed now, but
okay.
Yeah. I hope that we're still around.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the chat. Our internet seems
clear still. Eva says.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you.
We're gonna apparently we should wrap it up then, but maybe the air one is you have to find it. Hmm?
Yeah, part of the trial is to find where you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. We have Inferno Valley where they've sort of the plant, fire, and ground have sort of teamed up and they coexist and they cyclically do things.
Yeah.
But is there such a thing as the elementals teaming up? Like what if air and wind team up, and now you have
Air and wind.
air and fire, and now you have fire tornadoes, which sounds exciting and super fun, and like no problem at all, right? You know, to a 2-in-1 challenge, sort of. But you're actually being tested only for one of them. I don't know.
I'm not sure what. Yeah.
Unclear.
Yes. Tornado warning would be cool. Going to the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we, and Avi is saying that they could end up finding the air elemental in the south for geographical balance, and that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
I mean, we can put that. Let's see. This is where they run into the air elementals. Maybe not right there, but yeah.
But they move. I mean, that makes sense because wind.
Yeah, that's what I was sort of thinking.
Yeah.
Wind, air, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I know so is water, and there are probably plants elsewhere than in Inferno Valley as well, but still.
Yeah. So to run it through again then, the pink is water elementals.
Yeah.
The blue is potentially metal.
Yeah.
Green is plants, fire, and ground.
Yeah.
Orange, electricity, and purple is air.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Okay then.
Yeah. Well, should that be where we cap it then? Because we've done a lot.
We have done a whole lot of stuff.
And in only 3 hours.
Yes.
No, but it doesn't feel that long. Did you just?
Yeah.
Okay, that was you. Good.
Yeah. I want to reshare the document.
Oh, I'm not going to blind you back. I'm sorry. Oh, the water and air dots both look pink to AV.
Oh.
Thank you for pointing that out. We can change one of them.
Well, yeah, this isn't the permanent map anyway, but yeah. We'll look into that.
Yep.
So we have figured out shapeshifting a lot.
Feels really good.
Yeah.
Honestly, because it's a pretty big part of the book. It's my character. So that's good. It's good.
Yeah, we have figured out that there are no spiders in this world, which we like. And lots about how shapeshifting works.
And how it communicates.
Yeah. And we have figured out which elementals live where.
Yeah, I'll copy paste what I just done and put it in there.
Yeah.
Or copy paste I'm gonna move it, basically. What page are you on? Okay.
I am on 23.
There. Yes, but I'm gonna do this and then that.
Yes. Yeah. So next time we will have to talk about other things.
Well, to be fair, next time is Saturday, and that's plotting.
Yes.
The next world building stream, we have calendar, food, cost of magic, which we've sort of touched on. Well,
not all magic.
No, the shapeshifting.
Yeah.
And a bit more of the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the healing. Also, your character's power, how that works. Because we put in healing here, which is my character's power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So next time we'll have other things to talk about. And now on
Are you okay?
Yes. On Saturday.
Yes.
We are back on Matilda's channel, same time as usual, and we are going to be plotting. We're going to figure out more of the main plot.
Yes.
I should have said this before we started to wrap up, because now people might have left.
Mm-hmm.
We are not entirely certain when we're going to be done. We were intending, naively enough,
Yeah.
to be done with the plotting and the world building at the end of February, at the end of these streams. We are starting to realize that we will not.
No.
And so we will maybe talk next week about how we're going to move forward. We're not going to talk about that now because,
Yeah.
But next week, we're going to talk a little bit about how to move forward with the plotting and the world building, because we do want to keep doing it with you guys, but maybe not stream every single weekend day
In March as well. Yeah.
because the other stuff. But anyway, yes, thank you everyone for being here. And I want to say to Eva, who said something up there about I appreciate your willingness to be called out and corrected, and we will do that, and we will do that in a, nice way, because we're nice people here.
Yes.
And, basically, don't be afraid to say things.
Yeah.
And if someone does find something insensitive, we will be nice about pointing it out, and everyone will respect each other.
Yes.
That is what we do here.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But huge thank you to everyone who's been here.
Yes.
It's been so much fun, and I really feel like we've accomplished a lot today.
Yeah.
It feels like there has been, I mean, to be fair, overall, the past 3 weeks, the past 6 streams, we have come up with a lot.
Yeah.
But this felt like one even more focused and like reached more conclusions than some of the other streams. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really excited about this project whenever we do get around to writing it. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to start in like June. But yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for being here. I assume things are linked down below.
Things are linked down below.
Yeah.
And
don't forget to like the video if you haven't. I know we're leaving, but it doesn't hurt.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah. With that. Huh?
No.
What?
No, nothing. I just feel like we were like, yeah, thank you. And then we're both just, I guess we're going.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, with that, thank you everyone for being here. We hope to see you on Saturday and Sunday next week. Also on Thursday. Yes. Thursday for a writing stream on my channel.
Yes.
That is not going to be related to this, but they're a lot of fun. Most of you know it. Most of you are there often, and I look forward to seeing you all again. Thank you so much for your help.
Yeah.
And have a good rest of the weekend and other time. I'm clicking end broadcast now.